And we are live for the Detroit Lions Pregame Show, brought to you by the Woodward Sports Network and our good friends over at Swiss Insurance. Thank you for joining us this morning. Myself, Adham Beydoun, joined by the Tom Mesway.
What up, fellas?
Welcome to the desk.
Good morning.
Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you guys.
Nice seeing you. Of course, we have Jeff Iafrate in the building as well. We are back week 4. The Detroit Lions host the Seattle Seahawks. Guys, let's recap week 3. Let's get it out of the way. Ugly loss. A game where I could argue for 4 quarters they were the better team until it mattered the most. And they had a lead. We saw what Philly did, right? Philly, they took their foot off the gas. They were running the clock in the second half against Detroit, and they played the time, and they won. The Lions failed to do so. They lose to Minnesota. Maz, I'll start with you. We had this discussion on Friday about the decision. Was it the right one? Was it not? But regardless, at 1 and 2, where I could argue you were the better team in 8 of the 12 quarters. That's a tough look.
There's not a question about that. They were the better team. There's no possible way that they should have lost that game. And you know what? It happened. Dan Campbell had 3 choices. If he failed on any of those 3 choices, we were going to second guess him, third guess him, maybe fourth guess him after that.
Right.
But you know what? It happened. The guy's got to make the field goal one way or the other. He didn't. They got a 1 and 2 record going into Seattle. And now you're down all these guys. So it would have really been great to come in here at 2 and 1, Jeff. But that's life, man.
And I think the more important thing to take away from that game is the blown assignment at the end of the game. That was the bigger deal to me, is defensively giving up that touchdown.
Off a timeout.
Yeah, off a timeout, which was even a bigger deal. If you get a stop there, we're not talking about the missed field goal. We're not talking about whether he should have went for it or not. So defensively, and kind of transition to this week, that's the most important thing. We talk about the injuries, the offense is suffering. Defensively, you got a lot of guys. Tracy Walker's out, but overall, defense has to step up. But they were in control of that game. 2 10-point leads at 2 different points of that game. You just weren't able to close it out. And that's the difference between teams that are great and teams that are good. If you can close those games out, Lions weren't able to do it, but they played well last week. It's just, you got to close it. And I think that's been the storyline so far for the Detroit Lions.
My buddy, I won't mention his name, he watched only parts of the game. He saw only 28 points by the Vikings. He didn't see the Lions scoring at all. So I'm like, you're not allowed to watch this game today at all. The only time he put that game on was when the Vikings were scoring touchdowns, because the Lions, like you said, up 14 points twice, up 10 points late. You got to close that game out, Adam.
You got to close it out, and this is a coach who we're now seeing. This is his history. That's his track record, man.
Well, it's a small history.
It is a small history, but I've seen this now 4, maybe 5 times in a small sample size.
Yes.
He's got to clean it up. Having said that, oh my goodness. No St. Brown, no DeAndre Swift, no DJ Chark. You have a ton of injuries. And I still think you are the better team going into Seattle, which we'll talk about later. We have a jam-packed show. We've got Cuervo check-ins downtown at the Brass Rail with Stick. We have the heavyweights out in the streets with all of the fans. That should be fun.
They got my mic, for crying out loud.
They do.
That's why I'm sitting up here with you guys.
Hey, I don't mind it. I don't mind you being up here with us.
I'm upset that I took your chair.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
Maz doesn't get his comfy chair.
We got the injury report at 11:30. Geno Smith, Jared Goff, for me, those are like 2 players I'm very, very interested to learn more about, because these are players with 2 unique stories, but also very similar, right? Written off by their former teams, written off by a fan base that they used to belong to, and then they're suddenly here, starting quarterback for 2 teams, who one of them will be 2 and 2 likely at the end of the day. So take that for what you will. Around the NFC North at 11:45, top of the hour, we will get to Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift, and Chark being ruled out. Second hour, we'll go around the NFL, fantasy football, Jeff Okudah, DK Metcalf, you know the matchup. And then, of course, we'll wrap up with game predictions.
And by the way, there's a live game going on.
There is. Minnesota. Shout out to Chris Olave, by the way.
Yeah.
God bless. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And congrats to you. You got Greg Joseph.
I do. Yeah,
13-7, Vikings at the half over the Saints in London.
Let's go. Greg Joseph, keep kicking. Keep kicking.
I need Justin Jefferson to start playing good. I know he's already got a few catches, but what happened to this guy, man? First week, off the charts. Player of the week.
Right.
The last 2 weeks, Lions shut him down last week. Today, well, he's got a few catches today, but when are they going to get that guy going again?
And that was the big narrative, too, like coming off the game he had against Darius Slay as well. Justin Jefferson's going to have a bounce-back game this week, and then Jeff Okudah, I know he had safety help, but overall, yeah, he had 3 catches for 14 yards, Maz. And I don't know what he has currently against the Saints, but it ain't like we know Justin Jefferson to be. Do you have the stats in front of you?
Yeah, he's got 5 for 42 right now.
Yeah, that's not Justin
Jefferson-like, that's for sure.
No, it's not.
I'll tell you, I'm impressed with the London, the whole. I'm not the Europe guy, all right? That was an NFL Europe. I wasn't. They're going to put a team in London. They're going to put a team in Mexico. I'm not into that. But you know what? That's a good-looking stadium. The crowd is there.
Yeah, fans
the
love
NFL. Do you think there will be a team in London one day?
Imagine the traveling that team would have to do, number one. And number two, Fish would. I would love to have this conversation with Fish because Adam, every morning show, every day of the week, always says, Fish, are you talking about the real football or are you talking about your football? But now, over in Europe, they're playing American football, and they love it.
The
People
reality is, if you would have gone back 5, Maz knows this very well because he's from New York.
Right.
You would have gone back 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Who's at the top of Forbes, right? Outside of the Yankees and the Knicks, it was these soccer teams.
Yeah.
You look now, Real Madrid, which is like the most global soccer federation, whatever you want to call it, team, they're 13th on the list. Every American sport team is ahead of them.
The Suns are going to go for $3 billion. The Phoenix Suns.
That's the reality of what we're dealing with in the world of sports, and the fact that the NFL is out in London. I think it's great for the game. You guys remember when the Lions were out in London? I believe it was against Atlanta. Matt Prater, game-ending field goal. It seemed like every game, by the way, when Matt Prater was the kicker, whenever the Lions won, it was because of him.
Yeah. Why'd they let him go? They didn't want to give him a couple of dollars, right?
And now we're dealing with a guy who's honestly probably in the same shape I am.
You could probably defend that decision to kick it if it was Matt Prater.
He's in worse shape than me?
Yeah,
oh,
he's in
man,
worse shape
that's bad then, because I'm not in great shape.
You look okay.
Thank you, Maz.
Both of you guys.
Maz, I need this kind of support from my wife at home.
Hey, buddy. She'll be there for you. Don't worry.
Well, look, Vikings, they're playing right now. This is a team going into the season. A lot of people on the panel, not only here, but at the network, local media, national media, had the Vikings winning this division.
Right.
They're up 13-7 at half. Second half is about to kick off in
I
just
didn't
a
have
little
them
bit.
winning it.
You had the Packers.
I didn't either. I had
and
the
the Packers were,
yeah.
to be fair, the Packers were in your Super Bowl prediction. Correct, Maz?
Back-to-back years.
So I'm not going to call you crazy because I think their defense is that good, though.
They are.
But Romeo Dubes and you have Alan Lazard. One of them needs to kind of take the 1,200-yard jump this year. If they do that, if Aaron Rodgers, which he's more than capable of figuring it out, can do that, I don't think you're crazy.
There's a guy out there still that almost signed with them last year, if you remember. He goes by 3 initials.
OBJ.
Starts with an O.
OBJ.
OBJ. He's still out there. Has not signed with a team yet. Packers keep winning. Rams keep not doing as well.
Yep.
Maybe OBJ goes to Lambeau, finishes his career.
Plenty of touches over there in Lambeau.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
I mean, we all saw what it did for the Rams last year. The Rams are not a Super Bowl team unless they go out and get Odell Beckham and Von Miller.
And
That's the reality.
Who knew?
And who would have known that Robert Woods would have torn his ACL the day he came to practice? I mean, it was a perfect marriage. We talk about being fortunate in the NFL timing. It timed up perfectly for the Rams last year.
Good teams have good timing. That's the way it is.
I agree with that. Look, I still know, I do understand that you're not a fan of, Micah Parsons not going to the Lions still. I know that hurts you internally.
It kills me.
I did mention this. You have to be fortunate that a generational tackle like Sewell does fall to you.
Yes.
Now, granted, you weren't wrong on the Parsons pick. They were both very good, but damn, you look at the Parsons pick, he is phenomenal. But now we look at the defensive front for the Lions. Seattle does not have one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. They're actually 28th in the NFL. They are one of the worst offensive lines. You're going to look at a rookie in Aiden Hutchinson. You're going to look at Charles Harris. And this team, they got to get pressure on them, no?
Yeah. Well, last week, Hutchinson's playing maybe at 50%. You got to hope that the thigh injury to Charlie Horse, whatever you want to call it, is going to heal up, because the first 2 weeks you saw the damage that he could do, especially week 2 against Carson Wentz.
Right.
This guy is he's a little bit more mobile than Carson Wentz and Geno Smith, but he's not a great quarterback. The guy is a journeyman quarterback. They could get pressure on this guy, keep him in the pocket. Yeah, DK Metcalf's pretty damn good receiver, and they got some other pretty damn good receivers as well in Seattle. And the running game, Rashad Penny, we'll see how it rolls. But if Hutchinson is 80%, I like the Lions' chances in this game.
Yeah, this is probably the worst offensive line they faced since Washington, I could argue. I mean, and you saw how Adham played against Washington. It's not just Adham, by the way, too. It's the whole defensive line, because if you watch Adham, you watch the tape through these first 3 games, he's been getting doubled. And I think that's the biggest thing is you need other guys to be able to make plays. And that's why I've said with the loss of John Kaminsky, they were going to suffer. And now with Aiden Hutchinson.
That was another guy that stepped up.
Right, another guy that was able to step up. And Dan said he was the guy that set up a lot of their decoys, allowed guys like Aiden to get home. But it's a big game for that defensive line because I said it before and I'll say it again. Aaron Glenn has a lot to prove. Last year, this defense held a lot of opponents. You saw through multiple games 20 points or less. And it's something even though they were bad statistically, they were keeping teams at least, in position. If the offense could score enough points, they would win. Yeah. This year, it's been the opposite. I think they're the last in the NFL in terms of defense, but that pass rush, it starts there because we can talk about this secondary and how much we like Jeff Okudah, but those guys are going to benefit if you can get to the quarterback.
And again, we're talking 3 weeks of history here.
Right.
3 weeks. Okay, it's not a lot of history. It could be last, but you could be first by the time the time this
Small
thing
sample size.
is over. And then I know Jeff Okudah's name always comes up, that this guy, we need him to be a shutdown corner. Right? We have to remember, it's his first time back after back-to-back injured seasons.
Right.
Give him a chance. And I know Adam has delved in and dove in to a lot on this guy. So you're going to have a lot to say about Jeff Okudah, man.
Yeah, look, he's got his hands full today. Whether it's Lockett or DK, he has a lot to do with. But I want to check in downtown at the Brass Rail with Stick in the Cuervo zone. We'll be right back. But Stick, how you doing down there, buddy?
We are live at the Brass Rail, the Cuervo zone. Lions taking on the Seahawks today. My name is Stick with Woodward Sports. Father-son combination with here. First of all, I got to ask Dad, how could you do this to your son, man? How do you pass down being a Lions fan?
Been since the Silverdome. Miles keeping with the tradition.
I see you got the Stafford jersey on. Oh, no. Oh, he updated the number 9. He updated the number 9. When are we getting Williams back, man? What's your prediction?
I would say week 8.
Week 8 or after the bye week?
Yeah, after the bye. But this is actually a funny story because we bought the original number. But Fantastic was real good. They swapped it out for us, so it didn't cost anything extra for the second number.
Off of 18, and then they switched to 9.
So the Lions did that too? They switched it out for you? That's awesome.
Yeah. And then we were like, I went to Indianapolis, and I met his mom there. And I was asking her, I was like, and didn't even know it was his mom. I was like, so did you buy the 9 before or after? She's like, well, it's my son. I bought it after. I was like, whoa. That was pretty cool.
How was Jameson Williams' mom? Was she cool?
She was really nice. Really nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to get him back with all the injuries that we got going on today. Do you guys think the Lions could still get this W?
Close. But probably about a 3-point win.
3-point win?
Yeah.
With Jamal, I think, yeah.
Yeah, Jamal's going to have a big day. TJ Hawkinson, man, he's got to have a big day, right?
Yeah, and I think Jamal's top for the rushing touchdowns right now?
Yeah, 4? He's got 4, yep.
So who's the starting receivers then?
The starting wide receivers, I'm assuming Quintez Cephas, Khalif Raymond, I don't know. We did not sign Tom Kennedy. You like Tom Kennedy?
No, I was giving you the Kennedy. Right, Sam?
And then you got the Hutchinson jersey. How many sacks is he going to get today?
At least 2.
At least 2. That puts him at 5 for the season. That puts him right on pace for Flannel Sam. Flannel Sam's got him Rookie of the Year with like 18 sacks or something.
Oh, he's almost there.
He's almost there. We're live at the Brass Rail in the Cuervo zone. Final score prediction. What you got?
27-24.
32-28.
He said Seattle. At the last minute, he said Seattle. Live at the Brass Rail. Back to you, Adam.
Good transition.
All right. Thank you, Stick. I appreciate it, buddy. Man.
TK.
Man.
You heard him.
Tom Kennedy, remember. 7 catches today for Tom Kennedy.
Man,
and
honestly,
a touchdown.
I'll suck you dry if Tom
No,
Kennedy
you don't. No,
pulls
I
off
don't
7
want. No,
catches.
I'm good. I'm good. Tom Kennedy, just do your thing, baby.
Oh, God. All right. Well, look, let's take a quick pause. When we get back, we've got a lot more to get into. We'll really pose what challenges is this Detroit Lions football team facing against Seattle, right? Look, I know we all know about the injuries, but let's look at the opposite side of the ball. What does Seattle pose as a threat, offensively and defensively? We'll get to that in just a little bit.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
All right, thank you for joining us this morning here on the Detroit Lions Pregame Show, brought to you by our good friends over at Swiss Insurance. Joined by myself, Adham Beydoun, Jeff Iafrate, and Tom Mazaway. Guys, let's start. We talk about a team. If I would have told you before the season started, circle a win for me, you had to pick one game, what would it be? It probably would have been Seattle. And now you're facing them without Char, without Swift, without Amon-Ra, without your offensive lineman. Now you're starting to, you have an uphill battle, but let's look at the challenges this team faces against Seattle. Most notably, Jeff, you want to start? Wide receivers?
Mm-hmm. And I think that starts with Amon-Ra. That's probably, I could argue, the biggest loss they will have. And I love DeAndre, and he's their home run hitter. And the Seattle Seahawks haven't proven to be a good run defense. So you miss Swift. But Amon-Ra, you saw what he did last year against Seattle. I believe he had 8 catches for over 100 yards as a rookie against Seattle, and that was with Jamal Adams. So this year, facing Seattle, like you said, Adam, this is probably the win on the schedule. You would assume the Lions would beat Seattle, but that starts with Amon-Ra, and you're not going to have him. And not just that, you're not going to have Chark. You're not going to have who else is out now? Well, Reynolds is questionable.
Yeah, playing on one leg.
On one leg. So you have Tom Kennedy playing Quintez Cephas. So the point is, the one you're going to miss, and I'm curious who steps up, and the guy I would make the selection for would be T.J. Hockenson. Has to step up and have a big game today. We have not seen it so far this season. He had a touchdown catch last week, but overall it's got to be T.J. Hockenson. But the one they're going to miss the most is Amon-Ra because of his consistency, because of his production. And on top of that, Jared feels the most comfortable. The rapport between him and Amon-Ra has been there since he started playing well late last season with Ben Johnson taking over as the pass game coordinator. So I'm curious to see what this passing game looks like without Amon-Ra, and I'm kind of terrified, to be honest with you.
You got to step up, man. Today's the day. T.J. Hockenson, today is your day. Get open. Get him the ball.
Yeah.
Prove what the Lions took you at. Yeah, it's not your fault they took you in the first round. But you know what? It's time. It's put up or shut up time today. It's up to you. Because if you remember, before Amon-Ra St. Brown, before Josh Reynolds, what did we say when Jared Goff came to town? Oh, his best receiver is going to be T.J. Hockenson. And what they do, they kind of took T.J. Hockenson away from you, double covering him all the time, making him go to other players, going to Amon-Ra St. Brown. It basically made Amon-Ra St. Brown's career kickstart because they took Hockenson away. Right. Now it's time. There's no one left, man. It's you and a bunch of practice squad players and a one-legged Josh Reynolds. Your running backs. You got Craig Reynolds. That's it. Jamal Williams is going to be your goal line back. He's not a back that's going to get you 100 yards. He's not. So it's time for your tight end to step up. Jared Goff to T.J. Hockenson with a little sprinkled in of Tom Kennedy and Josh Reynolds. That's your game plan.
I don't mean to interrupt. A huge development in Minnesota. Well, technically London, between Minnesota and New Orleans. Minnesota punting and New Orleans muffling the punt, recovered by Minnesota. They are now set up at the 4-yard line after a 40-yard Justin Jefferson reception. Down at the New Orleans 4, Minnesota up 13-7, looking to make it 20-7. Mistakes are going to kill this team. But I love the angle you guys took. It is a challenge, but again, next man up. I know that's overly used in today's NFL, really in today's world. Hey, next man up, right? You could sit up there as a head coach and say that, all right, look, at the end of the day, we're looking for the next man up here. Next man up. But some of these guys aren't next man up, right? Jamal Williams is a focal point of this football team, even with Swift, right? Craig Reynolds is a guy you saw. Low. Yeah, Craig Reynolds is a guy you saw give you 100 yards in a win last season. You see these players, and it's really, Maz, you brought him up, T.J. Hockenson.
Yeah.
I don't need you to justify the 8th overall pick. I'm not looking at that anymore.
Right.
I'm looking for you when your team needs you most. Are you going to come out with 7, 8 receptions, 90, 100 yards, maybe a touchdown? I haven't seen that since his first ever NFL game against Arizona.
He's had a couple of good games sprinkled in, but he's been a non-entity in this offense. It's time today for him to step up. What was the over-under? 44 yards?
Yes.
All right. He's got to slam
44
that
and a
over.
half, excuse me.
He's got to take it.
And even last year, he played 12 games. He almost had 600 yards. So if we can get something out of TJ in that realm, because this offense is what it is. It's one of the highest scoring offenses in the league, and you don't have TJ yet. And DJ Chark hasn't been playing to the ability we expect him to play. Now he'll be out, but TJ will be there. He's going to be a focal point this week. It's a Seattle defense that isn't that great against the pass either. And Jared Goff, this is the week for TJ. It's time to step up. We could talk about it the last couple weeks, and he's going to be a focal point defensively, but it doesn't take away. He's going to have, 8 to 10 targets today. He's got to make the most of them. You can't have a week like week 1 and week 2 where you get 7 targets, but he only catches 3 balls. And that's not all TJ. I think a lot of that has to do with Jared as well. People like to just blame TJ single-handedly, but the reality is, Adam, he's got to have a big game today.
He's got to have a big game, and you're looking now at the opposite side of the ball, right? Ermanni Oruwariye, look, was it an awful game against Minnesota? Yeah. We all can agree.
Probably his worst
Has
game
it
of his
been a
career.
rough start to the year? Yeah, sure. This is a guy with 6 interceptions last year. Was clearly your number 1 corner. I'm not ready to throw him away. I'm not ready to give up on the kid. Oruwariye, Jeff Okudah, how they match up against DK and Tyler Lockett will determine if this team will have success today, Maz.
And Rashad Penny out of the backfield. They're not great at stopping a run, the Lions, so we'll see what Rashad Penny can do for Seattle. He's not a slouch. He's no Chris Carson, though. I loved Chris Carson, man. I felt bad that his career came to an end. That guy was a bulldozer down there. But Seattle, you can't piddle on this team. They were a Super Bowl team not that many years ago. They were a playoff team, perennial playoff team with Pete Carroll. Yeah, he's traded away most of them, and they are in a rebuild. But they are not slouches still. This is a decent team. You saw what they did week 1 against Russell Wilson and the Broncos. I know the Broncos aren't world beaters yet.
Right.
But Seattle's not a bad team. This is a 3-point game either way.
Yeah, they forced 2 fumbles at the goal line against the Denver Broncos, so they play hard. And on top, it's crazy to think about, too, because we talk about the Lions and how bad they are against the run. Did you know Seattle's actually giving up more rushing yards per game than the Lions? The Seattle Seahawks give up 157 yards per game. The Lions give up 142. So it's a big game. You have Jamal, Craig Reynolds, even Justin Jackson's going to see some touches, I'm sure. It's going to be a hell of a game, but it's going to start on the ground for both teams.
Let's go to the people. All right, Kareem, if you don't mind, let's throw a chat in the Woodward, a poll in the Woodward Sports chat. What is the most important battle today? Is it the Lions' run game? Is it the Lions' secondary? Or is it the Lions' ability to throw the football? Let's give the people those 3 options. Which of the options is the most important for this team to have success against Seattle? It's going to be huge. We talk about challenges. I can bring up injuries. We all know the injuries this team faces.
Yeah.
But, Maz, you go over 12 quarters of football right now. That's what we have to work with.
Correct.
Between the 2 teams, who's looked more impressive?
Well, the Lions are more impressive, but they were more impressive with all of their weapons.
Right.
All right, they're down like 60% of their best offensive weapons right now. So, to me, that makes it an even game. Seattle's offense is not, look, they got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, 2 of the best receivers in the NFL. If they protect Geno Smith, he's probably going to find those guys, and they're going to exploit that Lions secondary. It's going to be a tough game, way tougher. I take the 3.5 points personally with Seattle. As much as I want the Lions to win, I think Seattle's going to take it right to the end, and hopefully the Lions will win with a late field goal. By the way, Greg Joseph, another field goal for the Vikings. Justin Jefferson dropped a short touchdown pass, by the way. Dropped a short touchdown pass. 16-7 Vikings over the Saints in London.
Well, congratulations to all you Justin Jefferson fantasy football owners like myself.
And me.
Yeah, and you hate your life.
What about the Greg Joseph owners?
That's right.
Jeff, kickers, just shut up, Jeff. Nobody cares about your kicker, all right? Nobody cares about your kicker.
We have a new kicker, by the way.
What is it?
Dominic Eberle
for the Lions.
Is your Lions kicker from the practice squad to Ford Field. Congrats to Dominic Eberle. We wish you the best, man.
If he can kick from 50, I like him.
If he can just kick and get freaking points, that's I'll take him.
We brought up challenges. Geno Smith does not pose, anything remotely close to what Jalen Hurts did to you in the first game.
No.
I think we all agree. This is a guy. Look, will he escape once or twice, Mass? That's a given. He's going to do that once or twice. But to the effect of Jalen Hurts, absolutely not. This Lions pass rush, sorry, there is no excuse. What I saw in the first half against Washington needs to come out today. Because if it doesn't, guys, you're looking straight down the barrel at 1-3.
Yeah, you've never seen the Lions better in the last 8 years than you saw in that first half against Washington. They were hitting on all cylinders, special teams, defense, and offense. It was amazing. And since then, they really have gone a little bit on the backward slide. Last week, they had a hell of a game in Minneapolis. Right. That was a heck of a game. That was their game to win. And it turned out to be an SOL at the end. They lost. I'm blaming the kicker. I know you guys are blaming the coach. I'm blaming the kicker. Nonetheless, it's a new week, new kicker, new attitude, Lions at home.
There's going to be a lot of emphasis this game in the trenches. I think if you want to answer the question, where's this game going to be the most important battle, it's going to be in the trenches. Time of possession, winning the turnover battle. Seattle last week against Atlanta, I believe they gave up 8 yards per carry to Cordell Patterson.
Over 400 yards total.
Right, so they're not very good against the run either. But on top of that, on average, Geno Smith has been sacked 2 times per game so far. He's been sacked 6 times through 3 games. You can get after Geno. He's not as mobile as the quarterbacks you've even faced. I think he's less mobile than even Carson Wentz. You sacked him 3 times and a half. Lions defense is a big game for them, and I expect him to step up because we're so used to the offense so far getting at least being so much better than the defense that they're able to outscore opponents. It might have to be a little bit of the opposite today. The defense is going to really have to hold Seattle to, I believe, below 20 because if they're 24, 27. Now we're talking even a closer game. You're getting in an
uncomfortable position because he brought up Dominic Eberle. You're in a close game, 17-13, 17-14. How are you winning that game? Your kicker.
Yeah.
Right.
And is it putting him in the spot late in the game? First time ever? Or are you going to get one in 27 yards, 30 yards early on, and that'll end up being the difference? Who knows? But
remember last year when they were down a kicker last year, and they had a guy named Ryan Santoso.
Yes.
And he blew it at the end, if you remember that. I mean, it was one of the worst kicks in the history of football, if I'm not mistaken. You would hope that this kid, Eberle, is a little bit better than Santoso was last year. Hope it don't come down to a field goal, but I think it will.
It's going to be. You're looking at Aaron Glenn and this defense really to limit Seattle to 16, 17, 20 points, and you're playing with fire. Having said that, though, let's check in with Stick at the Cuervo Zone. Stick, who else do we have to talk to today?
All right, we are live at the Cuervo Zone, Brass Rail, downtown Detroit. Lions taking on the Seahawks today. My name is Stick with Woodward Sports. What's your name, man?
Randy.
Randy, and I see you got the Malcolm Rodriguez jersey on. Those have been taking over Detroit.
Yeah, I think everybody watched Hard Knocks, enjoyed kind of what he was about, kind of more of an underdog story.
What do you feel about the young rookie? Do you like him so far?
Yeah, I think he's done way beyond what we could have expected.
What are you expecting today out of Detroit and Seattle?
I don't know.
that was not a very positive. It was like
with Swift and St. Brown being out, now DJ Chark being out, I think it could be rough.
But you're still here. You're still going to the game, right?
Oh yeah, definitely going to be here. But definitely a little nervous. But it seems to be typical that. Every time we expect this might be a down game, everybody shows up.
See, that's why I'm predicting an absolute blowout today. 35-7, I got Detroit over Seattle. What's your final score prediction?
Ooh, I don't know if it's that 28-21, somewhere in that range.
Lions?
Yeah.
Lions going to win?
I hope so.
Damn right. We are live at the Brass Rail at the Cuervo Zone. Love the Malcolm Rodriguez jersey. Adam, back to you, buddy.
Love the Malcolm Rodriguez jersey. He doesn't look anything like Malcolm Rodriguez, though.
Did you see that fan's reaction about all the injuries? He's so nervous about the game. I feel like that's most Lions fans today.
He should be.
It's funny because you mentioned, we talked for weeks about this matchup. Oh, yeah, the Lions should win this. Now it's the day of the game. Most Lions fans are like, well, it's going to be close. And I'm with them. It's going to be a close game.
All right, fair enough. Well, let's take a quick pause. When we get back, the inactives list will be out. We'll head to the injury report. We'll see who around the league isn't available, who will be playing. Of course, we have to look at the Lions. Josh Reynolds, I think that's one I'm looking for. Yeah. Is he going to play? We'll look at Aiden Hutchinson's health. It seems like he's ready to go. He's over the Charlie horse, but we'll get to that and much more in just a bit.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
All right, we are back live here for the Detroit Lions pregame show, brought to you by our good friends over at Swiss Insurance. Tom Mazaway, Jeff Iafrate, Adham Beydoun joining you this morning. Thank you all for joining us as well. Guys, the inactives are officially out. Maz, walk me through it.
You got it, guys. Not many surprises here. John Kaminsky, your defensive lineman, been down a couple of weeks. DJ Chark, we heard about him yesterday. He will not play. Jonah Jackson, the guard, of course, he is out. Austin Seibert, your kicker, we told you about that. Look for Dominic Eberle coming up from the practice squad as your kicker. The great Amon-Ra St. Brown, our favorite, is out. DeAndre Swift, of course, can't stay on the field. And Demetrius Taylor, defensive lineman, all down for Detroit today. Not many surprises, but not great news either, unfortunately. Dan Skipper going to get in there again. Go get him, Skip.
He's been playing well, too.
Yep. We'll get you Seattle's in just a minute.
I have Seattle's. I don't have the graphic yet, but I have who's out officially. For Seattle right now, they currently have Travis Homer. He's on injury reserve. Obviously, Trey Brown is out. Their corner, Justin Coleman, corner who played for the Lions when Matt Patricia was here. He is doubtful. He's out.
I think they paid him a lot of money.
They did.
Yeah.
Phil Haynes, guard, is questionable. We'll see. He's probably a game-time decision. Alton Robinson, the defensive end, he's on injury reserve. So the Seattle Seahawks probably have one of the, I guess, better-looking injury reports in the NFL right now. They're not missing too many players. Justin Coleman, he's their slot corner, but right now Kobe Bryant is kind of taking that spot from him. So Seattle, I mean, if you're a Seattle fan, they're pretty happy with what's on the injury report.
Yeah, they're walking in pretty happy. Again, to go off what Matt said, John Kaminsky, DJ Chark, Jonah Jackson, Amon-Ra, DeAndre Swift, God.
Can't stay on the field.
That is a lot to deal with. And eventually, we're going to have a conversation. And Kareem, whenever you're ready, you can throw up the inactives list on the screen. You have to have a conversation of, can you stay on the field? And like I said, those are your inactives. That is very difficult. But the reality is, you're going to have to overcome it some way, somehow, right? This is a conversation we're going to continue to have. Every team has injuries.
Right.
Seattle arguably are missing their best defensive player, maybe their best player on their team, Jamal Adams. He's done.
Yeah.
So you just have to deal with it at this point. I'm not shocked by this inactives list, though. Josh Reynolds active. We'll take it. That's probably your wide receiver one. I think you're looking at Cephas. I think you're looking at Tom Kennedy. We already mentioned T.J. Hockenson.
Yeah.
Where's the offense coming from, guys?
It starts with Jared Goff, and I'm not going to let him get off here. This is a big game for Jared, and we talk about what he's done against Seattle in his career. He has a lot of familiarity playing against them. I looked up Jared Goff's career stats against Seattle. Against Seattle in 9 games, dating back to his time with the LA Rams, he has a passer rating of 81.6, 8 touchdown passes, and 9 interceptions in 9 games. So historically hasn't played the best against Seattle, but this is the game. I mean, if you're Jared Goff and you want to eventually ask the Lions for a $150 to $200 million extension, not saying you have to give it to him, but if he's going to ask for that, this is the game. Go out, beat an opponent at home who you're better than. I get they have the injuries, but this is a big time for Jared Goff. You got to step up. You have guys available that you have a rapport with: Kennedy, Quintez, Josh Reynolds, who stepped up last game. I think this is one of those games you're looking at Goff and we're saying, listen, you look good with the offense around you, all the weapons. The best offense in the league. He's played well, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But Maz, even with the injuries, Jared Goff's got to step up.
He's done his part this year, all right? He hasn't turned the football over.
Right.
We haven't seen the many fumbles with the small hands, the whole 9 yards. He's got to stay clean again. And we talked about Quintez Cephas. He looked great in the preseason. Looked great. Remember those plays they would show us in practice? That he was making these great plays.
Right.
Number 87 he's wearing, ripping Johnny Morton. Come on, man. It's time for him to step up as well. That's another big play. By the way, Latavius Murray scored for the Saints. 16-14 Vikings over New Orleans in London right now. But getting back to the Lions, and I'll send it over to Adam for this one. But, again, Jared Goff was a guy we talked about big time, and you defended him coming in all year. We all busted his chops saying he's not the quarterback.
He was Mr. Butt Fumble last year.
But I got to be honest. He has impressed me this season.
He has.
And I'm not even thinking about the quarterback position right now.
That's a good thing.
That's
just
a good
like
thing.
We're not talking about Jeff Okudah, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about him being beat. I'm not talking about Jared Goff turning the ball over.
Right.
The one interception against Minnesota, it was a Hail Mary at that point.
Well, really, the miscommunication to T.J. Hawkinson, he threw that pick 6.
I'm not too worried about him. He has played well, and you know what? A lot of why I believed he would, one, Ben Johnson. The fact that you
That's
have
your
somebody
guy.
who believes in you, a guy who's young, innovative, putting players in unique spots. I love that. Secondly, let's not forget, he was basically dumped by his former girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
His girlfriend that was a 10 out of a 10, right? They upgrade over him. They send him away for 2 first-round picks as well. They send along with him. And he comes into arguably one of the worst rosters in the NFL.
Yeah.
No weapons. A rookie, St. Brown, who didn't emerge until like week 12.
He went from heaven to hell.
Well, it was rough. And look, it was a lot of bad football at times from Jared Goff last season. And I just believed going into this year, Maz, he had no excuse not to perform. And so far, he's proven a lot of people right and wrong. I don't mind it. I think he's playing good football. You're going to need him to continue, to play that way if you want to have a chance against Seattle. But I want to go out to the street team with the heavyweights. Kareem, are we good on that? Awesome. Let's go check in with the heavyweights and see how they're doing outside of Ford Field.
This thing's legit. Patsy, how long you had this thing?
Oh, we just picked it up in the summer.
Are you serious?
I kid you not.
You painted it this year?
We just bought it this year.
Wait, is that Rodriguez's jersey right there?
Rodrigo!
Let's go, Rodrigo!
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Connor owns the bus, too. It's my
Shout
son
out,
Connor. Woo-hoo!
Baby, here, baby, look it. Stand up, stand.
That's awesome. That's why I want kids. So I can torture them like my father tortured me. Just set me up for failure for the first 28 years of my life.
It's not torture, it's sports, baby.
I hope you know
it's
my
NFL.
My dad blames me, Mass, by the way.
Why?
I was born in 94.
Yeah.
Their last division title. 93.
93.
The 93-94 season. That was their last.
So their last playoff win.
91, I believe. Yeah. So my father blames me to this day. No, it's in a subtle, lovely way, but still, I am the reason. When he had me, it all went to hell.
Oh no, they were buried way before that. You know what I saw at Meijer store? Someone put it out. Matter of fact, they have the T-shirts at Meijer. Rebuilding since '57. Yes, even Meijer is trolling our Detroit Lions. That's hitting below the belt, man.
Didn't they have the T-shirts at Meijer, the Detroit Rams as well
last
year? So
that's
Meijer,
right. They did.
Meyer's up to something, man.
They are.
Meyer's up to something.
It's selling, right?
Yeah, it's selling. No doubt about it.
That is the line, man. I'll say it till they win. Rebuilding since '57, but you know what? They're on the upswing. You got a guy like Brad Holmes putting his team. They put the Lions right there in the center stage. All the national guys were in love with this team 3 weeks in. Now let's see if they can keep it going, keep it positive going into New England next week. You gotta win
No Mac Jones.
at home. No Mac Jones. Got Brian Hoyer, 14-year veteran, starting for the Patriots at Green Bay today.
Look, people may not be comfortable with pressure, but the reality is you are staring down the barrel of two very different scenarios, Mass. I'll start with a positive. You win today, you're looking at 2-2 with every opportunity when your team gets healthy to go 3-2 against New England.
Easy.
Into the bye week.
Yeah. First, they're not going to play next week either, bro.
I think St. Brown will, not Swift. I think St. Brown will.
No, he will not play.
Are you sure?
He's not going to play.
I doubt they sit him 3 whole weeks, including the bye.
You want to protect that ankle.
I do agree.
I'd sit him out next week for sure. I would not push that kid back on the field. I would not put him out there, especially if you win today. If you win today, you sit his, you know what, down on that bench.
Wow.
If you're asking me.
I don't know how I feel about it, but what I will say, we talked about it, 3-2 is a likely scenario for this football team.
Yeah.
That, let's be honest,
At
they
the
were
bye?
better than Washington.
Yeah.
They were better than Minnesota, and at times they played better than Philly.
They did.
This is a good football team. I like them. They're one of those 7, 8, 9-win football teams. That's what they are. They're not really good. They're not contenders, but they're there.
Yeah. They're punchers.
And then the flip side, which is a strong reality after today. You're looking at 1-3.
Yeah, I don't want that.
No St. Brown next week. Let's say we go off your model.
Yeah.
No Swift. None of these players are there. On the road, Foxborough, Bill Belichick. You're looking at 1-4 with a football team, in my opinion, that has every right to sit here and say we should be 3-2 going into the bye week. That is 2 completely separate conversations that we can have. And I hope for the 3-2 one. I really do.
Hey, if they can go 2-2, then you have a chance to sit your guys one more week. Give them the week off, take the bye week, get completely healthy, and come back and get ready to punch Dallas right in the face. By the way, fake pump by Minnesota to keep the ball. People in London are digging this game.
Yeah, they are.
16-14, Minnesota right now. Go Saints.
And on top of that, I do want to bring up, I think what's important too is the Lions have, out of their first 4 games, 3 are at home. And so far, you're 1-1 at home through your first 4 games. This is one of those games where if you lose, now you're going to New England, all right, facing Brian Hoyer, no Mac Jones, I get that. You're going on the road. You go on the road to Dallas. Then you take on Miami. Then you take on Green Bay. Like, the schedule doesn't get any easier. I get there's backup quarterbacks, but you're also on the road. So for this team, and Dan Campbell has yet to win on the road, that's just the reality. They got to at least take advantage of the situation. You're playing Seattle at home, and this is probably, if you had to pick a game to rest these players, it's this game. Like, despite us not having DeAndre or Amon Ra, you'd much rather have them resting against the Seattle Seahawks rather than Dallas or the Patriots. So they got to take advantage of it.
Or a division game.
Or a division game,
Yeah.
exactly, Maz.
The reality is, God, man. I don't like SOL, by the way. This is something I'm very against. I don't like the narrative. I don't like any of it. But, man, these people are going to be showing up on Monday, Maz, if they don't win.
Right. It ain't going away, man.
It isn't going away until you go a 5, 8, 10, 12-year run where you are a good team for 2 out of every 3 years. That's the reality. You win some divisions. You win some playoff games. That's just the truth. But having said that, look, let's take a quick pause. When we get back, we'll check in with Stick down at the Cuervo Zone. We'll have a conversation. Jared Goff, Geno Smith, how they got here. Those are our player features of the day. We'll go around the NFC North as well. All that and more coming up in just a bit.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
I got to shrink down a little bit for this one. We are live at the Cuervo Zone at the Brass Rail. My name is Stick with Woodward Sports. What's your name?
Mira.
Mira, did you have a party last night? You seem like you're ready to party today, too.
I'm very ready to party.
What'd you do last night?
Went out.
Where'd you go?
Birmingham.
Oh, nice. Where'd you go?
Rose Room.
Oh, did you see my boy Paul Martindale?
Maybe.
He was mixing out there. And what's your name?
Devin.
Did you go with her, Devin?
No, I was at the Post Malone concert.
So was I. Here, come closer. You're off the screen. You were at the Post Malone. What'd you think?
It was awesome.
And now you guys are going to the Lions game, or you're just down here to drink?
No, we're going to the game.
Nice. I love it. Do you think the Lions are going to win?
Definitely. It's my first Lions game, so they better win.
You're going to bring us good luck.
Heck yeah.
You guys want to do a shot of Cuervo?
Sure. Yep.
I mean, it should help you out with your hangover. There's one way to avoid a hangover. Just keep drinking.
Absolutely.
All right. We're live at the Cuervo Zone at the Brass Rail. I'm about as low as I can get. You girls have fun at the game. Let's go do a shot, okay?
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Sam.
Oh my God, Stick's hilarious. Stick's hilarious. We are
really
back,
is.
and thank you all for joining us on the Detroit Lions pregame show, brought to you by our good friends over at Swiss Insurance. Guys, we were just having a conversation about this football team, Jared Goff, what needs to happen. Reality is, he's a journeyman, kinda. I mean, it's only his second NFL team, but
Right.
you look at him and Geno Smith. If you would have told me 4 years ago they would be facing off against each other, one's in Seattle and the other is in Detroit, and they're the starting quarterbacks of both teams, I would have told you you're crazy.
And
here they are. And Geno Smith, I got to say, Jeff, he looks good.
Hey, Maz would know about Geno Smith back in the New York Jets. I mean, it didn't work out there. He's been a journeyman, but
got knocked out in the locker room as well.
Got knocked out, but look at him now with Seattle.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was a fight between him and I remember. Forget the player's name, but he definitely got KO'd in the locker room.
And that KO launched him into completing 80% of his passes this year for the Seattle Seahawks. So
80%?
It's like 70-something.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's efficient now. The yardage is the yardage, but he's been efficient. And
A
that's,
lot of dump passes.
No, yeah, exactly. A lot of the dump passes, and he has DK. You can throw into double coverage. But overall, Geno's been playing. He's been playing good football.
Listen
this
to me,
year.
guys. I did a little. I'm constantly watching NFL games, rewatching them, going back and watching videos. I caught most of the game again. I got hooked on that Monday night game that was supposed to be in Mexico City, and they wound up playing in the LA Coliseum. The Chiefs and the Rams, both in their color rush uniforms. Jared Goff in gold, head to toe. And the final score, 51-48. You remember that game?
That was one of the greatest games ever.
One of the greatest regular season games in the history of the NFL. And I watched Jared Goff in that game. And, he had a pretty good team behind him. They weren't a great team yet, but he had a damn good team behind him.
Right.
He looked like the first pick in the NFL draft. Don't forget, he was the first pick in the NFL draft. Yes, Matthew Stafford was the first pick in the NFL draft. They got traded for each other. He's not a bag of bones. He's not.
No.
He is better than that. Yeah, he got treated poorly by Sean McVay. Kind of got dusted off. Hey, if we want to make this trade, you have to take Jared Goff. Do you think it was that, Adam? Or do you think Brad Holmes said, we want to take Jared Goff and give him a team and kumbaya around him. Give him some people around him. Show him some love. The love that Sean McVay did not show him after a while. Now he gets that here in Detroit. Remember, he came in here, he had bodyguards walking with him in Birmingham. He didn't know what to expect. Now he's here a couple of years. His girlfriend would come to Birmingham roast every other day. They would come in and out of Birmingham. We'd see them walking around, how more comfortable they got. And now all of a sudden he's here, and you hear all over the preseason what a changed guy he is, more comfortable. This team is not the worst team in the NFL anymore. They're not purgatory anymore. They're a team on the rise. So let's give Jared Goff his due. This was a guy that was picked number one in the draft for a reason, and he has the talent around him. He has the talent to play a good quarterback position. So let's not take
I'm
a
not ready
crap
to throw
on
him away, but to answer your question, I think it was both. I think it was, we're stupid to pass on 2 first-round picks because we're trading the quarterback anyways. We'd be stupid not to take 2 first-round picks. Oh, by the way, one of which has already resulted in Jameson Williams, who, yes, to be determined, but I think we all agree he was the best receiver coming out of college before that injury. And then the second part to it is, hey, and Maz, I use this comparison all the time, and I want your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
maybe he can be what Alex Smith was to the Chiefs before they
Right.
got Patrick Mahomes.
Understood.
Now, I'm not saying you're going to be able to draft Patrick Mahomes.
We hope they do.
But if Jared Goff, in 3 years, gives you what Alex Smith did to the Chiefs, do you know what that means? You're a multiple-time division winner.
Yeah.
You are let me think this through. Oh, you win playoff games. You win 12 games in a regular season. You have a number 1 seed. You host playoff games. Now, to that degree, that would be phenomenal. I don't see it yet, right? I question the coach right now with some of his decisions. He's no Andy Reid. And then you look at Goff's play. We'll see. But that, I think, was in the back of their minds of, hey, if we bring him in mass, that's a bridge quarterback for a few years. And that really takes the pressure off of us of reaching for a quarterback like the Niners went out for Trey Lance.
Right.
Like the Jets with Zach Wilson. You're taking a lot of pressure off, and now Brad Holmes can sit back and say, hey, I'm putting a roster together right now. Whoever I draft at quarterback is going to be very fortunate. And they can come in right away as a rookie and play with this team. That offensive line, those wide receivers, Jameson Williams potentially, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have Hawkinson. Right. You have a legitimate run game. The defense will get better as he drafts more on the defensive side of the ball. Aiden Hutchinson, a premier pass rusher coming up. This team is set up for a rookie quarterback to walk in the next year or two.
Yeah.
I think that was behind this.
I was hoping it was going to be Malik
mess.
Willis. And, I'm sitting here, and I'm still going to say I was hoping they would have drafted Malik Willis somewhere, okay, not the 3rd overall, 2nd overall.
No, I get it.
Okay.
But would you agree with me if I said Malik Willis, by the end of the year, could come in and start on this football team given how balanced it is? Fair?
Yeah, but
I don't think you're overwhelming him.
But I'm not overreaching for Jared Goff. Jared Goff is playing good football right now, so I don't want to replace him. But I would love to have had that rookie guy sitting in the back and wait. Not Nate Sudfeld.
Right.
I'm sorry, not Tim Boyle. That's where I had my issues. So this year, when you have your draft, they got to get a quarterback to at least groom to possibly take over for Goff and be an Alex Smith to that guy eventually.
Yeah, and any young quarterback's going to benefit from learning from Jared Goff, even Malik Willis, to your point, Maz. But on top of that, 2 things why Jared's been playing the way he's been playing. One, it's the confidence, which he lacked in his last year in L.A. Another part of that is coaching, which he had in L.A. And you mentioned that one of the best games I've ever seen, Kansas City and the Los Angeles Rams.
You won't see a better game.
And a lot of that was due to Jared playing the way he was because of coaching. And Ben Johnson, ever since he took over last year, his play, I think Jared, I can still remember the stats in my head. I think he had 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, had a passer rating that was around the same as Aaron Rodgers.
Top 3 in the NFL.
Top 3 in the NFL, so he's been playing really good ball. But on top of that, it's that confidence he plays with, being comfortable, knowing he's the guy. But this year, to your point, if they draft a quarterback, he can be the Alex Smith. Because Alex Smith was no slouch. I mean, he had, 20-something touchdowns and 5 picks his last year in Kansas City. So
very smart quarterback.
Absolutely. So Jared has a chance to do that. But on top of that, just to see Jared playing with this newfound confidence in the relationship with him and Ben Johnson, it's been great for his career so far.
And what do we say? You could put Adham behind that offensive line while they're intact.
Right.
And he could have a decent day on the field. That offensive line, by the end of next year, if they all get together and stay together, could be top 3 in the league. It should be.
And some are arguing they're top 3 now.
And they haven't even played together.
Right.
All of them.
Never.
Yeah, never. Yeah, they never played together.
And the backups that they have could be starters on other teams.
Yeah, Evan Brown will not be here for long. I mean, he's going to get signed somewhere else. He's great.
Well, let's segue a little bit. Let's go around the NFC North. We'll start with your Super Bowl prediction, the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say not the most difficult game. They're on the road.
Great.
Are they on the road today in New England?
No, they're home.
They're home. They're home to New England. No Mac Jones. I'm chalking it up as an easy win. I've got them on the points. Walk me through the Packers right now. They are 2-1.
Yeah.
They haven't found their best form yet. They've only scored 48 points through 3 games, but they're winning, and it looks like they're going to improve to 3-1 after today.
I don't know. Don't count it yet, but yeah, they are my suicide pick today. I have them. I picked the Packers. Hate to use them this early in the season, but you got to pick one winner. And I look through up and down on that parity list, and it's tough to just pick one winner. So I went with the Packers, but I do like the Patriots to keep it close because I'm going to go with the coach. I'm going to go with Bill Belichick. Yeah, I'm not going to go with Matt Patricia. His offense sucks. I can't. I next week when the Lions play, I hope someone rolls them on the sideline. All right, I'm going to go out and say that. But I'm going to say this: Romeo Dobbs Romeo Dobbs, whatever you want to call him, had his best game last year as a rookie. Was he a 3rd or 4th round pick? The 1st round pick, Christian
Watson. They took him, the first receiver taken.
Yeah, remember him? And what happened on the first play of the year? He dropped that short touchdown. They didn't go back to him the whole game. So
they haven't gone back to him all season.
Yeah, they haven't gone back to him.
He learned,
But
Aaron Rodgers will do
Dobbs supposedly was this guy that was a steal. Matter of fact, I used him as my rookie of the year at the beginning. We all picked up me, Braylon, and Ryan. Afternoons 2 to 4 here on Woodward Sports, by the way.
Yes, sir.
We all picked our rookies of the year and offensive players of the year. I picked Romeo Dobbs as my offensive rookie of the year. So, yeah, last week, the problem with the Packers now all of a sudden is they're not running the ball real well. They're not running the ball. They're fumbling. Their offensive line isn't 100% either. But they get New England's a pretty good defense. If you remember last year, New England ran off 8 straight wins at one point last year. Mm-hmm. They're not a slouch. They're still the Patriots, for crying out loud. So that game is a 4 o'clock Fox game. They got their best announcers on it. That game's going to be closer than people think, but I like the Packers close.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going with the Packers as well, and I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, because I have Robert Tonyan and Alan Lazard starting in my fantasy team. I promise.
How about Mason Crosby? You got him too?
Yeah.
No, you got Greg Joseph?
Yes, I do. I got Greg Joseph. But I like the Packers at home. Listen, I have the Green Bay Packers winning the division. It's going to be close, but I have them at 11-6, and I have the Minnesota Vikings at 10-7. And I still believe in the Packers now to go to the Super Bowl. Like, Maz, I got to wait a little bit, but I love the confidence you have in the Packers.
Hey, I'm back to back on them, man. I got to roll with them.
You're not too bad with your picks now. We'll talk about the NBA another day, but you were pretty spot on with that. But the Packers, I'm going to go with the win today at home. I think, you like Adam was kind of alluding to earlier, you need somebody to step up. And I'm not just talking about Dobbs having a good game. I need a 100-yard receiver, man. I need Alan Lazard. This is the game for him. He's healthy. He's a healthy scratch. He'll be playing. So it's going to be a good one, but I'm going with the Packers. I think they beat the Patriots.
Hey,
Mac Jones.
Saints down at the 1-yard line. Taysom Hill in at quarterback right now. And who are you rooting for right here, Adam? Who do you need a touchdown from?
Chris Olave, but Taysom Hill in the back of the end zone on a 2-yard touchdown. The Saints are up 20-19. Saints are up 20-19.
Wow.
They're going for 2 right now.
They'll go for 2.
The Saints don't know Kamara. No Michael Thomas.
Their defense.
No Jameis
the reality
Winston.
is we all knew going into the year, if you were confident in the Saints being a playoff team, it would have been because of their defense. They've limited the Vikings with 3 red zone trips to 1 touchdown, 2 field goals. That is impressive. And that's what's keeping them in the game.
Now, here's the kicker on New Orleans. They're the more desperate team.
Right.
They need the win. Let's face it, the Vikings are playing with house money after what the Lions gave them last week. All right? The New Orleans Saints, they're a desperate team, and this is a home game for them. You got to win these kind of games. And this is a dead even match, Minnesota and New Orleans. So this is going to go down to the wire, too.
It's 22-19
they
now.
They got the 2.
Yep, 9:30 left in the fourth quarter. Minnesota, trails. It's go time. It's go time for Minnesota. You lose this game after walking away with a W, I don't know how, against the Lions.
It still evens you out because they shouldn't have won last week.
I know, but you know what? This is a game. Green Bay's going to win today. I'm very confident in that.
Hey, weird things.
Jarvis Landry, by the way, with the 2-pointer.
I want to cover the Bears before we take a quick pause. Almost top of the hour. Bears, Giants, Maz, who do you got?
2 2-1 teams. Who would have thought it? At the Meadowlands, you can't go with the Bears. You cannot go with the Bears. They have the worst offense in the entire league. I mean, they have 33 receptions for the entire year.
I think Justin Fields in 3 games has 45 pass attempts.
He has the least amount as a second-year quarterback. I saw this stat. He has the worst stats ever for a second-year quarterback 3 games into the second season with a 2-1 team.
Justin
are winning.
Justin Fields has set the record of all time for the lowest amount of player props on passing yards ever in a game. 148.5 over under.
Where's Moody?
The lowest in NFL.
Where is he?
Awful. Awful.
The whole team, the skill positions is a disaster. I mean, David Montgomery hasn't been who everybody expected him to. Khalil Herbert had a great game last week.
Big pickup in fantasy, by the way, over the week. We'll see how he does.
Very good sneaky pickup.
I like the G-Man.
But the Bears, man, it's a disaster in Chicago. And I think we can talk for hours about it because me and Adam always talk about the disaster it was to not bring in an offensive coach for your young quarterback. But on top of that, They don't have help. No offensive line. They don't have any receivers besides Mooney. He hasn't stepped up. There is no way in hell I'm going with the Chicago Bears. I got the Giants at home. But Saquon Barkley is the best player on the field. And
Adam said he's going to break the record today for yards. He said that on Friday.
Wait, what'd you say? I think Saquon's going off today.
Saquon's going for 300 today.
I think he's going for 300 today. That's how much I hate the Bears. Look, call it a clean sweep. The Giants blow out the Bears. I hate the Bears. I will never pick them to win a game. It's going to be a blowout. 97-0. I hate the damn Bears. The Bears. They suck.
Go Giants,
Having
baby.
said that, we got to take a quick pause. You're watching the Detroit Lions pregame show brought to you by Swiss Insurance. We'll see you in just a second.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more. From large luxury homes to starter homes, we will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
We are back here on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. It's a Lions pregame show. Me, Maz, and Adham Beydoun. I want to get into a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of the injuries, because we've already kind of covered them. But Maz, fantasy, Josh Reynolds is available in a lot of leagues.
I know, and you still got time to grab him. Now, the problem with that is, as much as Jared Goff loves to go to that guy, I saw him last week, friendly fire. Him and I think it was Khalif Raymond that ran into him.
Yeah.
And that's just, is that not Lions luck? Or what? And the guy gets knocked out of the game, which sucked, and now he's playing on one leg, and you need him. You need him to step up here. If I had a chance, and I got pretty good wide receivers, but if I got a guy that I'm questioning, I might just throw a flyer out on Josh Reynolds, or maybe Tom Kennedy.
Tom Kennedy.
It's laughable, but I'm telling you, I see something in that guy.
He's going to get the opportunities, no doubt.
I hope he could show.
And I think the point you're making about Josh Reynolds, too, if you think about last week and you think about the game he played, he had 6-7 catches for almost 100 yards, and he missed that. It was the sun in his eyes, whatever
he looks good
it was.
In that number 8, too.
He does.
Looks good.
He looks. That's why I love the numbers changing, because you see now Jameson, number 9.
I'm starting to like it now.
Yeah, I'm getting used to it.
Like it. I don't like number 9 for Jameson Williams. I'm sorry. I do not like the 9 for Jameson Williams. I'm an old school guy. I like 87, 84.
Yeah, you like the higher
and
numbers.
87 is with Quintez Cephas, but I digress. Talk about your guy.
But overall, Josh Reynolds, man, and I'm expecting him to have a good game. But on top of that, I think it's more so about the others. I think the ball's going to be spread around a lot today. You're going to see Tom Kennedy. I do think you'll see some of them. I think he's going to make some plays. I like Tom Kennedy as well. Hawkinson, which is the big one. I mean, this is a guy who in 12 games last year almost had 600 yards, had a couple of those 10 catches for 80 yards, 8 catches for 60 yards. He showed out last year. Now, can he do more? Yes, we expect TJ. We talk about him being a top 5 tight end. He's got to go and prove it, Maz. But I want to ask you, your expectations for TJ Hawkinson. It's a big game for him. I know you got to cover it on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz 2 to 4 afternoons. You've talked about the first 3 games. He had a lot of opportunities, didn't capitalize on them. But what kind of game can TJ have today against the Seattle Seahawks?
Well, I said it Friday. I'm like, if you're going to put a bet in, the bet is on him today. Over 44.5 on that over yards. And I just think he's a 100-yard player today. I think he can catch 7 for 100. I think he needs to.
He needs to.
I'd like to get a touchdown down low to him as well. But the main thing is we've talked about his blocking ability. And his blocking ability has not been the greatest. And I think Adam had some good stats on that. When we get him back, we'll ask him about that. But he's got to help out, too. He's got to help chip that guy coming in from Seattle. Seattle's not a bad team, man. A lot of people look down on this team. They're better than people think they are. Just look at week 1 when they did against Denver. And 2 takeaways down low against that Broncos defense. So TJ Hockenson not only got to catch the ball, he's got to chip those players and protect Jared Goff a little bit.
And that was the thing with TJ that me and Adam have had the conversation about is TJ. People like to say, well, he can block. Well, listen, you could use PFF to whatever you want to use it for, but if we're talking PFF, his rankings and run blocking and pass protection are terrible, and that's just the reality of it. Hockenson, as talented, if you can't block, you got to go make plays for me. That's bottom line, and he hasn't been doing that so far. You picked up the 5th-year option on him. He's not only playing, this decision for the Lions is going to be solved on its own. People talk about should the Lions extend TJ. You're going to find out this year if he's worth the money that you're expecting him to ask for, which is top 5 to 7 tight end money. So, Adam, we're having a discussion about the importance of TJ Hockenson this week against the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, he's got to have one of those 8, 9, 10 catches for 80 to 100 yards. He's got to have a big game, in my opinion.
He has no choice. I'm sorry. Look, last year, start of the season, you were seeing a lot of bracket coverage on him, right? That was fair. He was the only threat. You weren't really concerned with anybody on that offense. Then towards the end of the year, Reynolds comes into the fold. And then St. Brown emerges. And then you go into this year, Swift, that offensive line, Amon-Ra, Reynolds, Chark. Okay?
Right.
Now you can't. And he's gotten so much single coverage. And it's tough for me to sit here and say 10 catches, 8 catches, when I know if Seattle has anything going in their mind right now, it's, you know what, how about we take out the run game and Hockenson and make Reynolds, Cephas, Kennedy, someone else beat us. That's going to be their game plan now. And can he overcome a double team? Can he overcome a safety shadowing him the whole time? I don't know. I don't know because he can't even do it against single coverage. But you're right, Hockenson has to have the game of his career to help this Lions football team.
And I think a bigger part of it, and this also is on Ben Johnson, this isn't all TJ, but they got to utilize TJ in different ways. Not these 5-yard out routes. Use TJ in the seams, get him downfield, allow him to be able to make plays. Using him in 5, 10 yards, I mean, that's not TJ's game. You can utilize him in a lot of different ways, and I think today is going to be a good test for Ben Johnson. Former tight ends coach, former wide receiver coach, he knows how to utilize these positions. Get TJ some touches today and get him in open space.
They got other tight ends on this team, too,
Brock Wright, another good
James
one.
Mitchell, the injured Vatek tight end that they took late in the draft. He's starting to play. So let's see. I don't even know how many other tight ends are active on this team, but they brought a lot. They kept a lot of tight ends on this active roster. So there's other guys that they can go to. And Dan Campbell, the former tight end himself.
Yes,
let's face it, man. It's the tight end's position today. Help out your team. Step up. St. Brown's out. You got to step up.
Look, next man up, whatever you want to define it as, that's the reality. And Hockenson's going to have a big bullseye on his head today. Target's going to be on him. Can he deliver? But my question to both of you is, Craig Reynolds.
Big fan.
Who's the bell cow back today? Who's getting the 20 carries?
Is it? Yeah, he's the bell cow.
Because we saw Jamal get, 22 for 87 last week?
Yeah.
But the reality is, Reynolds did it for you last year much more effectively than Williams.
So you guys think Williams is getting
I think Craig will get touches, but Jamal is that energizer. Like, that's the guy you're going to want. Craig,
he don't go outside.
You're right. No, that's why they're both going to be used. I'm with you. But with Jamal and what he did last week against, now you're facing a defense that's worse against the run. I mean, I'm looking at Jamal. I mean, even in the pass game, too, he's not that bad either. But Craig's going to be utilized, man. You need Craig to have one of those games, not 100 yards, but he's got to be effective.
And Justin Jackson, too.
And they'll probably use all
three. That's exactly
he's an
where I
electric
was
guy.
going.
He's an electric guy.
That's exactly where I was going.
I was
we talk
shocked
about
that he
missing
wasn't on this
Swift.
team. Yeah.
We talk about missing the home run potential.
I think Justin
Jackson has it written all over.
I think he had like 6 yards per carry in the preseason. Like he was playing well.
We were surprised when he was cut.
Yeah.
He's a guy that played well for the Chargers when he was with them.
Yeah.
So that could be the surprise guy. He could be worth a pickup maybe.
You're
in
looking
fantasy.
really.
Would you pick him up in fantasy if you stuck a back?
Oh my God! I mean, if my backfield consisted of Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, and everybody was injured, maybe, yeah, I would have no choice. But no, I'd rather take Craig Reynolds. The problem is Jamal Williams, I think, is the goal line guy.
Yeah.
The problem is, do we think the Lions are going to get many red zone opportunities? I don't know. I love Ben Johnson. He's going to have to call the game of his life to get this team in scoring positions. And again, we're going to look at the kicker. Are we going to have to
Eberle.
go for it? Are we going to have to go for it on 4th and 7 at the 28-yard line because you have a new kicker on the team?
That's a great point. What Dan Campbell are we going to see today? I know we're going to see the aggressive Dan. That's not a question. But when does he go for it? In what time of the game? What point of the game does he go for it? Is what I'm going to be looking for today.
If you're inside the 50, you have a professional kicker that made your team. You kick the field goal.
You trust him.
Unless it's a 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Right. Other than that, if you're inside, like I say, you're inside the 50, kick the damn ball and make the damn kick. This kid is kicking for his career. He makes a couple kicks today. Austin Seibert's still injured.
It was like Riley Patterson last year. Riley Patterson made him. He was a starter now because of what he did last year for the Lions.
Did he? I don't think he missed a field goal for the Lions last year.
No, I don't think so either. And the fact that he's
he
gone.
He might have missed one outside of 50.
And now he's 80% out in Jacksonville, 100% from 50.
Well, I think we had one kick.
Yeah, better than we needed one kick from Cyber.
I know you and your 100%.
Come on,
3 games.
We needed one from Cyber.
You know what? The most important thing is because we could talk about if you're a kicker, you're supposed to make that kick, but a lot of it is how the game's going. Like last week, I watched Greg Joseph and Austin Seibert both miss kicks wide right.
Yeah,
that was the story of the game. Indoors, which was.
What they do? Open the door like they did with Silverdome?
Someone opened the window.
Yeah,
but
the windows were open, by the way.
There you go.
They were saying, but they did not affect the kick, they said.
And that's my problem, too, Maz, is if the game's going like that, you got to be able to think to yourself, okay, I have a kicker who hasn't never made from this distance before. And on top of that, the story of the game has been missed kicks.
Huge development
we'll see how
Minnesota, New Orleans. Pass interference, 40 yards downfield. 1st and goal for the Vikings are at the 3-yard line.
I love Adam's cut-ins.
I'm sorry. This game is insane.
They tackled Thielen. Yeah, they tackled.
This is. By the way, did you guys catch the pass interference that wasn't called against TCU in Oklahoma?
No. Missed.
Oh my God.
TCU, baby.
TCU.
Horned Frogs.
Max Duggan drops back to pass. Boom. 40, 50 yards downfield. The wide receiver just. You guys remember what happened with the Saints and the Rams in the championship game, right? This was worse. Receiver's about to catch it. This dude, Sean Taylor, just cracks the hell out of him. No flag. No flag. Insane.
And that was the same
Jefferson,
game
touchdown.
That was the same game that Dylan Gabriel got completely knocked out. So
shout out to all the Justin Jefferson fantasy owners.
On a run.
On a run.
Not
Justin Jefferson in the red zone.
Get the hell
The Minnesota
out of here.
Vikings are up 25-22. Mass, question for you.
Yes.
You're up. Interesting.
No, you kick the point.
Yeah, you kick the point, so if they score a touchdown, you're only down 3. Yeah.
You kick the point.
Yeah. Oh, my God, no good!
Are you kidding? Joseph missed?
No good. Oh, my God. Sorry, Jeff. It's only 1 point. You can stop being a baby. The dude's kicked 3 field goals today, all right? Shut the hell up, Jeff. Look, let's go check in with Stick at the Cuervo Zone, and we'll be right back.
Wide right.
Son of a
live
bitch.
at Brass Rail inside the Cuervo Zone right now, and I had to talk to a Seahawks fan. But then I asked you about your jersey, and what'd you say? Where are you from?
I'm from Germany, Cologne.
You're from Germany, so why are you a Seahawks fan?
Well, it's because of the Legion of Boom. So they were really famous, like when they came up, and then in Germany, the NFL really became to kind of go skyrocket.
What do we got to do to get you to become a Lions fan?
Well, I'm actually half Lions fan, so my wife over there has a Lions shirt.
Ah, so she's the smart one.
Yeah, so we lived here actually 16 years ago. Okay. So this is why I'm partially liking the Lions, but I'm a Seahawks, so I'm sorry.
Ah, that's all right. What's your name?
Max.
Max, and what's your wife's name?
Danny.
Danny, you married up, man.
Yeah.
You did well.
Yeah, I did.
She rocking the Amon-Ra St. Brown jersey. Here, come here real quick. We got to show the world your beautiful wife. Come here. What's your name?
Danny.
And where did you meet this guy?
In Detroit.
In Detroit?
Yeah, 16 years ago.
Are you from Germany too?
Yes, of course, from Cologne, Germany.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I'm glad you're having a good time in Detroit.
Thank you.
He's got the right number, just the wrong jersey.
Yeah, exactly. A wrong color.
There you go.
Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown not playing today. DK Metcalf is. It's going to be a good game. Who do you think's going to win?
I think Detroit. I really think Detroit, yeah.
Yeah, baby! Live at the Brass Rail, Cuervo Zone with Woodward Sports.
Yeah.
Oh, man, well, I think his mic cut off. Thanks, Stick. Anyway.
A Seahawks fan. There you go.
I think Stick had another shot. That was the thing that shorted it out.
Each video he's sending us, he's just getting a little more drunker every single
Probably.
time.
Look,
I love it.
25-22 out in London. The Vikings are ahead with 4:15 left.
I want to ask you this.
Go for it.
I asked Jeff earlier. I was against it, but do you put it? Would you be okay with a team in London? I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm okay with
no
it.
one signing there.
I'm okay with how it is now. You can't put a team in London, logistical reasons.
Oh,
that team is at such a disadvantage.
What disadvantage? They're 8 hours. I had 6 hours.
They have to fly 10 hours, 11 hours, Maz. If they want to go from London to play the Niners, it's almost 17, 20 hours.
Hey. Get there early. Get there a few days early.
No, that's awful. That's awful. No way. No chance in hell. But I love the games out there, though.
I love it, man.
I do.
At least they're getting their money's worth.
I would wake up
better
at
than
5 in the
usual
morning
Jag
to watch
games.
football at this point.
I know. What are you
I
kidding?
really would.
The more football, the better, man.
Oh, God. All right, look. Here's the reality. 12-13. Coming up in just a bit, we'll go around the NFL. Cleveland, Atlanta, Buffalo, Baltimore, all the big games. We're going to cover them in just a bit. And then at 12:30, Jeff Okudah, DK Metcalf have to go and break down that matchup. We'll do that in just
Not a
a
good
bit.
one.
We'll see you guys.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by our good friends over at Swiss Insurance.
I like how you say Detroit.
15. Is that wrong?
Well, outsiders call it Detroit. Guys that live here,
like Detroit.
It's Detroit.
Detroit.
But I like,
yeah, I'm putting emphasis on it.
I like your Detroit.
I'm putting emphasis on it.
I do like your Detroit.
Excuse me.
That's okay.
Excuse my
No sweat.
my youngness. Having said that,
I love it.
Let's go around the NFL, Mass. We'll start with Cleveland, Atlanta. Who do you got in this matchup?
Well, first of all, I picked Cleveland to make the playoffs, even though they wouldn't have had Deshaun Watson. Jacoby Brissett, game manager, doing a good job. They have a Super Bowl caliber team. No Myles Garrett. Could be 2 to 4 weeks now with that car accident that he had. He's got a shoulder injury. He's got a knee injury, all from that car accident, just because he was going like 140 miles an hour. I don't see what could have went wrong with that. Anyway, Browns, I like the Browns to continue their wins. Atlanta's a tough team. They play hard. Arthur Smith's got him playing good. I think Cordell Patterson might be out today.
He's
questionable.
He is active.
Oh, he's active now. Okay.
Yep.
He's been
Questionable.
dominating.
Christian McCaffrey, questionable.
Yeah, they're going to make a game-time decision on CMC. So if you guys have CMC starting in any of your fantasy, you might want to stay on your phone.
You're looking at a guy
and
right
find out if he's going to be playing. But I like Cleveland over Atlanta, and I like what's the spread in that game? You don't play with spreads here. I'll take the Browns to win against Atlanta.
Yeah, no, we're going to do straight money line matchups
Fine.
right now. Buffalo
Browns.
at Baltimore.
Hold on. I'm going Cleveland as well. Let me get my pick in there. All right.
Fair enough. Baltimore,
my pick. Cleveland
Buffalo.
as well.
Baltimore, the home team. Buffalo coming off a
Game of the year.
Yeah.
Look, reality is
it's a big one.
This is huge.
Two
Game of the
offenses
year.
that heavily rely on
Yep.
their quarterbacks. Josh Allen, he's pretty much, Singletary's not a bad back, but he's pretty much their run game as well. Lamar Jackson,
totally.
he is completely majority of their offense.
He's it. He have no running game.
He's probably, in my opinion, he's leader for MVP this season, Lamar
It's
Jackson.
not a question.
And this game is probably arguably could be the game of the year. I'm still going to lean Buffalo because Buffalo coming off a loss that they could have beat the Miami Dolphins, and Baltimore coming off a win. I'm going to go with Buffalo in this matchup. I think Gabe Davis is back as well.
He
so
is.
give me the Buffalo Bills.
I got the Bills too, close in this game. I love Baltimore. They were my Super Bowl pick as well. I'll take Buffalo to come back. You're not losing 2 in a row. The Bills are the best team in football.
I'm going to go against both of you. I love John Harbaugh as a coach.
I do too.
I believe in this
Is he
offense
playing?
at the moment. No, but he's coaching.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Baltimore to pull off the upset at home. I'm a big fan of home underdogs.
Okay.
I've been riding it this year. So far, 4-1 in these bets. I'm taking Baltimore on the road.
Lunch tomorrow.
Or excuse me, at home.
I got Buffalo. You could have Baltimore.
Fair enough.
Lunch tomorrow.
I'll take it. I'll
Deal.
take it.
Let me get a nugget.
You're
Yeah.
in too,
All
Jeff.
right, cool. I got it.
You got it, Jeff. I'll get you. I'll get you a
my
4-piece.
All right, let's
Get you a 4-piece nugget.
Let's go.
Divisional matchup between Washington at Dallas. Guys, I'll start off. I'm going on the road team here. I think Washington ends this Cooper Rush garbage. Dallas are going to Dallas. Give me Washington. Carson Wentz to have a career game against the Dallas Cowboys.
You know, the two Dallas Cowboys, I found this out. I was doing some research because if Cooper Rush wins this game, he'll be 3-0 as a starter.
4-0.
4-0. So think about it.
Because he had one the previous year.
Absolutely, yeah. This season, I should say 3-0.
3-0.
The other two Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks to do that, Roger Staubach and Tony Romo, if I'm not mistaken. So Cooper Rush
two
is
of my faves.
Cooper Rush is entering the territory of he could make history if he wins. I'm going with Washington. This is probably a game I would stay away from if I was betting, but overall, Dallas's defense, they're going to get to Carson, and I'm terrified. But overall, the Washington Commanders, they need a game to at least win, and I'm going to go with them on the road. I'm going with Washington.
I'm
not confident.
This ain't Redskins Cowboys. This is Commanders Cowboys. Okay, the Cowboys will win this game. They'll dominate this game. Micah Parsons is going to live in Carson Wentz's back pocket. It's over. Dallas wins this game at home.
No, I hope you're wrong, Maz. The Chargers at Houston. Houston have been playing pretty damn tough so far to start the year. They're giving opponents fits, but Justin Herbert figuring out how to play with that cartilage injury in his ribs. Are we concerned that the Chargers might lose another game on the road at Houston?
I don't see it. And I think the Chargers, as bad as they played last week, Justin Herbert is a little more healthy than he was a week ago. They still don't have Joey Bosa. He's out for an extended period of time. The offensive line for the Chargers is banged up. I'm concerned for the Chargers in terms of the season. But right now, I think they bounce back. They get a win against the Texans. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I could see something along the lines of 27-17, somewhere in that aspect. But I'm going with the Chargers. I think the Chargers get it done here.
Hey, it's time for Austin Eckler to step up, or Austin Eckler, as Braylon would call him. Anyway,
Eckler?
he calls him Eckler until he scores a touchdown. He'll be recognized as Eckler. San Diego, L.A. Chargers, one of the best bets of the week this week. They'll dominate Houston.
I'm going to agree. Chargers come out big win against Houston. Tennessee, Indianapolis, another divisional matchup. Yeah. I like Tennessee on the road. Derrick Henry, they're going to command him 25, 30 carries. He'll go for $150 and a couple touchdowns. Derrick Henry will carry the Tennessee Titans to victory today.
No way. Colts win that game. Ooh. Last year, they lose a tough one to Tennessee. They're not going to lose this year. How about last week? They beat the Chiefs. I called that one, by the way, straight up. Colts will win this game and continue to get better. Matty Ice.
This is a tough one for me because they both have game-changing running backs. I mean, Jonathan Taylor can win this game for the Colts. Same with Derrick Henry. I'm going to go with, in terms of desperation, I'm going to lean the Tennessee Titans because they're in a position right now where they have to win. Same with the Colts. They got to win a game. But I think Derrick Henry, the Titans are going to have a bounce-back game. Robert Woods, Treylon Burks. I'm not confident. This is probably another game I'd stay away from if I'm betting.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna lean the Tennessee Titans in this matchup.
I wouldn't play that game at all.
No.
I wouldn't play that game. But I like the Colts back-to-back. They got to beat the Chiefs last week. Come on, man. That's saying something.
The Chiefs beat themselves. Jacksonville at Philly. Maz, we talked about this on Friday. Give me Jacksonville in the points.
You're
but
crazy.
I still think Philly are just too damn good. They're the best team in the NFC. Philly wins this game. Jalen Hurts continues his role, his MVP season so far.
Are you going against the Jags, my boy?
I am.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm taking the points though. I don't think the
you
Jags
think it'll be close.
I think Jags really put up a good fight, but the Eagles
Philly's
are winning
home,
this
man.
game.
Yeah,
that's worth 10 points against them in Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philly, it's different playing. And
Holy hell!
Oh, here's the update. What happened?
Holy hell! 25-25, 60-yard field goal. Will Lutz to tie the game with 1:51 left.
Woo.
Wow!
I told you it's going to OT.
Lions ain't the only ones.
It may go to overtime. Who knows? Maybe Kirk Cousins throws an interception and sets up the Vikings for failure.
I'm watching that kick now. You already have the damn kick. How the hell are you so far ahead of me?
What is it?
How are you so far ahead of me? I'm just watching the kick now.
I don't know. I got fiber internet over here. I don't know what kind of
I'm
crack
off my phone. I'm rubbing sticks together.
That's a you problem.
And to speak quickly on Philly, Jalen Hurts at home is he's been playing. I think he's the first quarterback in NFL history to have like 900 passing yards in 3 games, and I forgot the amount of rushing yards. He's playing great ball, and on top of that, at home against the I believe it was the Vikings. That's who it was. They played at home. My God. Jalen Hurts, I think he had like a 70-80% completion percentage. He had over 300 yards. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles in this matchup. Dougie P coming back to play his former team. Jacksonville, I think, will cover, but I'm going with the Eagles at home.
Man,
that defense is...
That would be sweet for Peterson. You know he's got something.
Oh, yeah.
He's
rallying.
He's got something for Philly.
Those players are going to play their
You know
butts
what?
off for him.
That might be a really good bet, taking Jacksonville in the points.
Well, look, he was my coach of the year going into the season. I thought Doug Peterson would win coach of the year.
That. Yeah.
And it's going to happen. Look, I think they cover. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if Jacksonville pulled it off, especially on an undefeated Philadelphia.
You might be right.
The Jets, man, it's the Jets at Pittsburgh. What do we got here?
Is the kid back?
Zach Wilson will be starting.
He's starting? Huh. Oh, man. At Pittsburgh.
Maz, I've never felt less confident when a starter comes back. Is that weird? Like if Joe Flacco was starting,
it's not weird because it's the kid's first game.
Yeah,
coming off a bad injury again.
Right.
Hasn't been great in his rookie season. He didn't have a lot of help. It's the first time he's really got a chance to go out and show what he's got. What a tough spot to play at Pittsburgh.
Him and Robert
At
Saleh,
Pittsburgh.
they're borderline on the hot seat if those two can't get it going together.
I know, but the kid, it's his first
understand,
game.
but the reality is it's a ruthless business.
I know.
And look, I really want to see Zach Wilson play well.
Me too.
But the problem is he keeps getting hurt, and when he has played so far, it hasn't been all that great. Joe Flacco can't look better than you. Let's just put it that way.
It depends how many hot older women are going to be in the stadium today. Because if they're there, Zach Wilson will play up to his ability.
And he might go home with one of them.
He might. He might go home with a couple of them.
And Flacco, too. To think about that, he has 1,000 yards, close to 1,000 in 3 games. Like, Joe Flacco is playing his best football. And by the way, Mike LaFleur, OC for the Jets, I've had a man crush on him. I don't know what it is with me and OCs. I love OCs.
You like the LaFleur to be that good-looking guys. Young,
from Mount Pleasant.
From
Mount Pleasant. Mike LaFleur's been doing a hell of a job.
Oh, we got a break-in.
Oh,
break-in development. Kirk Cousins, 40-yard pass downfield to Justin Jefferson down at the New Orleans 29. That game likely over. Minnesota. New Orleans has 3 timeouts, so I'm sure Minnesota will look to run out the clock or get a first down and seal the deal. But it looks like Minnesota will be closing out this game.
You smell that? It's a Greg Joseph field goal.
Shut up, Jeff.
No.
It smells delicious.
Here's what you want to do if you're Minnesota. You do not want to kick. You want to score a touchdown. You do not want to put it in Greg Joseph's leg. You do not.
Come on.
The guy just missed an extra point, missed 2 field goals against the Lions last week. I ain't kicking the ball. I'm trying to score a touchdown.
But I thought they get paid to do that,
man.
They're NFL kickers.
That. But they suck.
Yeah,
what can I tell you?
That's true.
What can I tell you? What's
Justin
our next game?
Jefferson, 10 catches, 147 yards, 1 touchdown on the ground. My goodness. Talk about a breakout game. Next game, Arizona at Carolina. I'm going Carolina here. I like Carolina. I still think they're better with or without him. They don't even use him anyways. Baker Mayfield, they're going to find a way. The defense for Carolina is legit. They have the best corner in the NFL right now, and J.C. Horn. He's playing at arguably a shutdown corner level. He's been phenomenal. I think they're going to give Arizona fits. They're going to be able to get a pass rush on Kyler Murray. I'm going to go low-scoring game here. 16-13, Carolina pulls it off.
Let me take this, Maz, and then you can tell me if I'm crazy. I'm going with the Cardinals. Cardinals.
Me too, right there.
At Carolina.
Kyler
Murray.
It's
period.
time. It's time.
It's time. And on top of that, they have guys that can step up. Marquise Brown, Greg Dortch, a sneaky fantasy option if you're looking at receivers. Zach Ertz, I think they'll have enough to win. And even if C-Mac's not playing, that's obviously going to hurt Carolina's chances. But I'm not putting my money or even placing a pick on Baker Mayfield and Matt Rule. I mean, those guys, that seat they're under is so hot, even in Carolina. And I'm going with the Cardinals to win that game. Kyler Murray, man, you saw what he did against Las Vegas. And I get Las Vegas is in a slump right now. But listen,
good.
Say what you want about Kyler. He can make plays, man.
Listen, you just threw, who'd you just throw under the bus? You just threw a team under the bus. Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah,
Baker
and Matt Rule. Yeah.
Baker Mayfield. Well, I'm not a big Matt Rule guy. But Baker Mayfield, really, help me out here, Adam. Take Christian McCaffrey out of the situation. Who else does he have to work with here on this team? Does he? Carolina sucks, if you ask me, their offense.
Yeah,
I don't think they have anything.
DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson.
What's he ever done?
Right.
Robbie Anderson,
nothing
he's a ghost.
Off the charts. And I think a lot of that starts with their OC. They have Ben McAdoo as their offensive coordinator, who is fired.
Retread.
Yeah,
retread.
Come on, man. So really, their offense is just a disaster.
It's a mess.
And it's not just Baker, but the offense entirely is just a disaster.
I say you cannot blame Baker Mayfield for the situation he's in here in Carolina. He probably couldn't have went to a worse team to have him playing. So, nonetheless, I'm betting against them today. I'm taking Arizona.
Yeah, I'm with you, Miz. 2 against 1.
Vikings still driving with the ball. Minute 14 to go.
Final timeout.
Where are they at right now?
Oh, they're in field goal range. They're like on the 25, 30-yard line.
They're at the 28-yard line, 3rd and 9. They will likely run the ball down to 30 seconds, call a timeout, kick a field goal, and then we'll see what happens from there. But final game, Chiefs, Bucks. Who you guys got?
Ooh, night game. Go ahead, buddy. You lead it off.
This one is tough. This is kind of an emotional feeling. Because listen, what Florida's going through right now with the hurricane, you have Tampa playing at home. They're going to play hard because they want to prove something. A win in Florida right now would mean the world, and I think they're going to use that as motivation. But Kansas City, though. Who's confirmed to play? Is it Mike Evans? I don't think Chris Godwin's back.
Godwin, I believe it was expected to play.
You think Godwin?
Oh, Julio. Excuse me.
So Julio and Evans will be there.
Godwin's out for like another 3 weeks, I think.
I'm gonna go Tampa. I think Tampa wins this game. Although this is probably a pick'em game, a toss in the air, a coin flip. I'm going to lean Tampa at home. I just think they have more to play for. And overall, that offense last week, Tampa's got to find a way to bounce back, and I think they will.
I'm
going with Tampa.
I'm surprised.
It's hard pick, man.
How do you pick against the Chiefs? You think they're going to lose back-to-back games?
Yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs here. I'm with Maz
the
on
Chiefs.
this one.
I think the Chiefs win it comfortably. 7 to 10 points.
Yeah.
7 to 10 points, which
Maz.
is comfortable to me.
That's okay.
I can't see the Chiefs losing back-to-back games.
Well, look, let's check in with Stick at the Cuervo Zone. We'll be right back. Oh, excuse me. We're not. Stick died. Never mind. Sorry about that. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
Having said that, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we get back, Jeff Okudah, DK Metcalf will break down the matchup.
Jeff
We'll also give our game predictions around the panel. We'll go around the room. Who wins? Why? We'll get to all that and more in just a bit. We'll see you in a sec.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG. It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
What up, dude? It's your boy Easy, and I'm downtown with my man Nick Torres. Nick Torres, I'm here. It's your first game.
Yeah, first time coming out. I'm pretty excited.
Show the shirt.
We trust in one and only one, so we'll see how the boys end up tonight. We had a couple injuries, but I think they'll get it figured out.
I think they'll get it figured out too, man. You ready to pop your cherry, man? You ready? Hey, it's your first game. I need you to go hard on every third down.
The Red Rivers will be flowing. The Red Rivers will be
Let's go, baby! Hey, show me what you're going to do on third down.
Oh, third down. As soon as I get it, put them right through. We'll give them the one and done.
On defense, third down on defense. You got to turn up. The stadium's got to turn up.
Oh, we'll be screaming. We'll be getting hectic. We'll be in the face. Baby.
Look at that. Wide open. Oh, that was a great throw.
I don't give a damn before a commercial. Chris Olave, 32-yard catch over the middle.
The red rifle.
Smith.
He's hurt.
My God,
Olave's
Harrison
hurt.
Smith is hurt.
Olave's hurt.
Anyways, hi guys, we're back.
The red rifle?
Sorry, we're enjoying watching the game. I can't help it. Look.
Hunter Smith is hurt too.
Timeout by Minnesota. Very interesting. 12 seconds left. Maybe they go for a sideline play. That's what I'd imagine New Orleans is going to do. But
Lutz already has a 60-yarder today.
Yep, he already has a 60-yard. If it goes to overtime, Chris Olave on my fantasy team, Lord.
Oh, leg-to-leg injury.
I could use an overtime game.
Leg-to-leg injury.
Damn.
Hunter Smith and him.
Oh, wait, Olave's hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt on that play.
Yeah.
You guys joking with me?
No, look. He's limping.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's fine. He's fine.
Oh, he is?
Man up.
Okay.
Man up. I don't have time for this stuff, Mass. Damn it, Olave! Anyways, I paid $20 for you. Shh. Hi, guys. We're back. DK Metcalf, Jeff Okudah. This has been the conversation of the whole week.
Right.
The reality is, looking at the film, DK does make a good point. Now, the question is, no Tracy Walker this week. Guys, are you shadowing DK Metcalf, or are you looking for Okudah?
Who's shadowing him? He's like twice the size of anyone that we have on the team. He's going to be hard to stop.
I'll never forget watching DK face Darius Slay. I think it was last year, and just completely body him. And that's the difference. Like the physicality that DK plays with. It's a good test. He's a monster at the line of scrimmage, and it's a good test for Jeff, who's also physical at the line of scrimmage. I'm going to say this because I want to get ahead of this. If DK comes out and has a great game, I want Lions fans to understand that doesn't take away from anything Jeff's done so far. I want to make that clear because I can already see the overreaction Monday of saying, wow, Jeff, man, got cooked by DK. He's a bust, this and that. Jeff's, honestly, he's an uphill battle for him, but all you need him to do is just play solid. I mean, you're going to give up plays to DK. I remember watching the game last week for Seattle, and Geno Smith threw it into double coverage, and DK made a play, caught a touchdown pass. So it's not all on Jeff. It's the secondary. It's the pass rush. If you give Geno Smith 6, 7, 8 seconds to throw, no corner is going to be able to keep up with Lockett or DK. That's the reality. So it's not just Okudah. It's the entire defense that has to step up. I think Okudah will have a good game. I don't think he'll shut down DK. But I'm also looking at not just Jeff. It's Amani Oruwariye. Rebound game. That's important to me. But on top of that, it's going to be an interesting matchup, no doubt.
Hey, pick your poison. DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett. Both all pros. Both Pro Bowlers. It's going to be hard to stop those guys. But Geno Smith is throwing the ball to them. All right? It's not Russell Wilson.
You're going to be able to get pressure on this team. We have to understand that. But the matchup is, how much safety help are you going to give Okudah today? Can you afford that? And if you can't, we have to have an honest conversation. Look, the data, the analytics, the film, it all points to he has a lot of help. There is separation. He isn't shutting down people. But he's played good so far. So we'll see. This is a big day for Jeff Okudah. This is a huge day for him.
It's a big day for the whole Lions defense. Right. Pressure the guy.
Yeah.
Pressure Geno Smith. Keep him in the pocket, and you can beat them. Rashad Penny. Don't let him go for 100 yards on you. You could win the game. It's right there for the taking. Jared Goff, play your best. Go get him, man.
And I'm glad the crossbar.
Oh, he missed?
61-yard field goal miss. No good. Game over.
Wow.
Vikings.
He hit a 60 and missed a 61 at the gun.
What a great game. 28-25. The Minnesota Vikings improved to 3-1. They are now top of the division.
They live again. Look how they won that freaking game.
Well,
now.
you know what, Maz? I'm sorry. We have this conversation all the time. The good teams find a way to win. Do they not?
Yes.
They find a way to win.
Yeah.
And you know what? Minnesota have not played their best games. Kirk Cousins, 273, a touchdown and a pick.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook only 75 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
But
he's playing with one arm.
I understand, but they found a way to win.
I like listen, I love hypotheticals, and I'm just going to bring this up. We don't have to cover this for a while, but just want your reaction. If the Packers win today, and the Bears, let's say they win today.
If the Bears win today,
I'm just saying.
I am going to the Ambassador Bridge. I am tying a rope around my neck, and I am jumping off.
Don't do that.
I'm going to do whatever the hell I want.
But think about it.
They're playing the Giants.
Think about
it. Take it easy.
The Giants, Saquon Barkley is running for 300 yards today.
Take it
and
easy.
the Bears are giving up an NFL record 97 points.
Hold on.
Fuck the Bears.
Think about it. 3 teams in the NFC North would be 3-1, Maz.
Wow.
Except for the Lions.
I know.
And that's
as good as they played, they're in last right now.
That's my point. It's like how as impressive as they've been, you're in a situation where you could be last in your division through 4 weeks. So listen, I'm not trying to pump out bad juju into the air, but that's the reality. It's a big game for the Lions this week, man. You got to take advantage.
Have to, and they will.
Yeah, they will. We'll get to it, our predictions, but I'm confident.
God. All right. Well, look, we're
by the
close.
way, let's hit the goalpost, then the crossbar, and barely bounced out. Yeah, it would have been good from like 65 yards.
Wow.
The kick had plenty of leg on it, and it doinked.
Look, the reality is if the Bears win today, I have to come up here on Monday and apologize. I do. That's the reality. Yeah. But I think this is a 3-4 win.
Why do you have to apologize?
Because I said they would go 0-17, and for them to start the season 3-1.
Yeah, man, he was on that. Yeah, he was on that train for a while.
So I have to admit I was wrong.
Don't the Jags even you out a little?
Yeah.
We'll give you the Jags.
Yeah, he did pick them to win a division. So
they could beat the Eagles today.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, look, game predictions. We'll start with Jeff. Seahawks, Lions. Who you got?
I know Seattle, they haven't been very good offensively, but the Lions, with all the injuries they have, this is going to be a low-scoring game. I know the over-under is at 40-something, like 45, 46. I can't remember off the top of my head. Man, I'm going to go with a low-scoring game. I would probably lean 23-17. About a couple days ago when we did the show, I had 27-17, 30-17. I'm not confident this offense can score 30 without their two best players on offense who accommodate for, 60, 70% of their offense. I'm going to go with the Lions to win, but I think it'll be close. I think it's 23-17. The kicker's going to be very important.
Defense steps up, huh?
Defense is going to have to step up. They have to.
Interesting.
This Seattle offense isn't nothing special. It's not like the Vikings. It's not like
bad either. They hung with
they're
the
not
Falcons
bad. They can put up a decent amount of points, but the Lions should be able to score more. And listen, defense has to step up, and I'm banking on it. I'm going to go 23-17 Lions win at home.
I'm not going to trust the kicker either. Dominic Eberle off the practice squad is your kicker. Austin Seibert injured. Could be out for a bit. They might have to be shopping for somebody depending on how this kid kicks today. I think the Lions score enough to win this game, 28-27. No field goals for the Lions.
Ooh.
I got them a 1-point win, maybe a 3-point win.
Yeah.
And it could be the opposite way, too. I mean, Seattle could beat them.
Kirby Joseph is officially starting, by the way.
He is. Good.
Kirby Joseph is starting at safety today.
3rd-round pick, right?
I think you guys are putting up too many points on this game. I do. I
like the over. You guys like the under?
I'm going 16-14.
Okay.
Lions win. I still think they're the better team, even with all the missing pieces. I trust this offensive coordinator. I trust this defense to give me at least a better game than what they've shown, especially against the Seahawks. The pass rush has to be there. I'm looking at Aiden Hutchinson. I'm looking at Charles Harris. I'm looking at this team to really stop Rashad Penny early, make Geno uncomfortable, make him throw in places he doesn't want to. But the reality is, this is a tough game. And I can't envision this football team 1-3. Given the way I've seen them play, it'd be a tough pill to swallow. I'm going the Lions. They pull it out 16-14
I'll take it.
In an ugly game.
I don't care. Win.
I am with you. I'm in that. Hey, just win the football game. I don't care how.
It's must
I don't
win.
care how sexy it is.
You gotta win.
You have to win this game. It's a must win. It just is.
On the road next week at New England. Then you can get healthy. Hey, in the beginning of the year, we thought, hey, week 5, that's the worst freaking week to have off. The first time, the first bye week. But guess what? It works out in their favor this time.
Yep, they play New England. They hit the
then
bye.
St. Brown and Swift got to get healthy. Chark got to get healthy.
Have 3 weeks of wet.
And
you got it,
Don't
man.
forget Jameson Williams,
and
right?
I'm not playing him yet. I'm not. I want to ask you guys that before we go here.
No, we have time.
Jameson Williams. He's eligible to come off PUP or whatever you want to IR by week 5, which is the bye week. Do you feel confident? And I know Braylon says yes, play him. I don't feel confident playing him yet. ACL injury in January, national championship game. This is your prize pig. You went up, traded, got him. You're not winning a Super Bowl this year.
No.
Are you putting him on the field that early?
No, I'm not. I'm not in the camp of play him. My thoughts on it, Maz, is I would probably wait till that Dolphins game when you play the Miami Dolphins at home. I know the Dallas game is when everybody expects him to be back, but for his first game to go on the road, I would much rather wait one more week, play him Miami at Detroit. Like you said, Maz, you're not really under any pressure to win anything this year, but you want Jameson to get those reps. You don't want his first season to be, towards the end of the season or next season. But I'm going to go Miami, and that would be the week after
week 7.
Dallas. Yeah, week 7 at home. First game he plays at home.
I think that's still too early. Adam, what's your take?
Yeah, I'm with Jeff. I think you want to see him by Miami.
You do.
October 30th. I think you want him back by then. Yeah. It's more than enough time. I've had ACL recovery before. You can recover if you have.
How many passes did you catch the following week?
I didn't, but I was still playing sports at the time.
I see.
You recover. 6 months is about all you need with proper rehab. You can get back into shape. It's not insurmountable.
All right.
I don't mind sitting him a little bit.
I'm not putting my prize pig out
well,
there.
Well, think
yet.
about it, man. You could wait till week 12 and he'd get injured. Tear his ACL. I mean, you could
but
really
I want him completely healthy.
But what if he's 100% healthy right now?
Just like Tua? 100% injury? 100%?
I mean, that was a head
I'm just saying. I mean, the NFL teams put their players out a lot quicker than they probably should.
Right.
I'm just saying chill for a bit. It's just my opinion. You're not winning
I
the
don't
Super
mind.
Bowl.
Again, I don't mind waiting. But what is your
I don't
version
know.
of chill?
I don't
Is it
know.
week 10, 11, 12?
I don't know.
How late into the season? Is it 3 games after the bye week? Week 9? That's what I want to know.
Do you want to see him
this
season?
I can at least understand a little more.
You want to laugh? You can sit him out. You can sit him out the whole year, as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
That's my opinion.
But my concern is, even if he comes back next year, if he's 100% healthy, Mass, he could still be injured. That's my point.
No,
like, you could
I
get
think
injured.
you have to see him this year. That's the
You gotta
reality.
see him.
You can recover from these injuries. We've seen Cam Akers come from an Achilles injury. We've seen Adrian
Yeah.
Peterson come off an ACL
Where's
injury.
Cam now, by the way?
Yeah. God help me for drafting him. Anyways,
You come
You're gonna
back
wanna
too
see
early.
him.
I just don't want to see him. I don't want to see this be an injury that keeps recurring, or another knee injury that recurs because you're not really hitting that
yeah.
leg
Look,
hard.
if it takes till week 12, 13, I don't mind. But at least see him this year in a few games. I want to see him start 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 games.
Get that rapport between him and Jared
I'd like to
going.
see something instead of we're sitting him the whole year. Now, just the standard reaction is, wait, is he okay? Is there something more serious going on? Because he should be right by now.
All right.
Right now, he should be running 100% routes. Is he ready for contact? Maybe not. Maybe 2-3 more weeks. That's fine. Maybe 4 or 5 weeks. But he will be ready by the time it's week 12, week 13. He has to be, unless there's a setback.
Okay.
Fair?
Fair.
I want to see the kid play. Hey, Adam, do I start Cam Akers? You absolutely do not start Cam Akers.
Don't start any Ram running back.
DJ Chark is out today to confirm. Yes, he is. Let's get a poll in the chat. Who wins? Lions, Seahawks. The panel here, we all agree the Lions have to win this game, and they should win this game in a close
I'm
thriller.
taking the spread, though. I'm taking 3.5 if I'm betting.
You're giving
this
them
game.
for Seattle?
I'm taking Seattle on 3.5.
Yeah, I don't blame anybody for giving Seattle those points. It's a big deal right now. I want to see what the people have to say. Look, the reality is this is the game before the season. We all circled it. Seattle was the team that was in the Will Anderson conversation, right? Would they pick in the top 2, top 3 and get Will Anderson? That was the conversation. C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young.
Right.
You allow this team to beat you at home. You fall to 1-2 at home, 1-3 on the season.
It's over.
Head to Foxborough. Dare I say 1-4 against the Mac Jones-less New England Patriots, going into Dallas, who will likely have Dak.
Ooh, and then you got Miami,
And then you
Green
have to
Bay,
play Miami, and then Green Bay, and the Giants, and the Bills.
You got the Jags after that. I mean, it gets ugly.
It gets tough.
That Jag W all of a sudden that's a game you got to earn.
Right.
That's not they're not a
And
patsy
that was my
anymore.
biggest thing I've been saying is, like, Lions fans specifically always like to say, well, we should beat this team. We should beat this team. You don't think other fan bases are
Well, they're
looking at the
looking at
Lions
us,
like,
yeah.
hey, we should beat this
Of
team as well.
course.
Their defense
You
is
see the
terrible.
Lions, you put a W next to it.
Right. So
If you're
we
the other
got to
side.
wait and see. But I'm with you. It's an important game. You can even argue must win, even though players I don't think look at it like this is a must win.
Yeah.
I feel like a must win would be like you need a game to get in the playoffs late in the season. But this is an important game. I'm not.
I said
going
must
against
win against Washington. I thought they had to beat Washington.
I would agree with you there.
They
I'm
had
with you.
to. And then last week they pissed it away. Let's
Yeah.
face it.
Yeah.
Minnesota, they won again today. Congrats
All
to
right,
them.
You all gave me your score predictions. Give me the factor. Give me your X factor reason. The key reason why the Lions win. Mess?
Jared Goff to Hawkinson.
Really?
We've been laughing all week. Tom Kennedy. I'm rooting for the guy. I hope he does well.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkinson's got to step up the game. It's got to be Jared Goff holding on to that ball, not turning it over, not fumbling it, and getting the ball to your tight end and winning this game, taking it home.
I got two things. One on offense is Jared Goff. Absolutely. It starts there. Defense, it's the pass rush. No question. You got to get after Geno if you can. A byproduct of that is your secondary playing better. So you could talk about Jeff. You could talk about Ermanni. It starts up front. And those are the two guys. You can even add the offensive line in there because you got to be able to run the ball. But I'm going with Jared. He's the X factor for the offense. In defense, you got to get after Geno Smith. So I'm going with that. You could even put Aiden up there. Maybe he's my X factor on defense.
I'm going with the defensive front for the Lions. Aiden Hutchinson, you're going to want to... Now, is it the sacks or is it the pressures?
I'm surprised you
just
didn't
want
take
the
Akuda and a Warrior.
No, I'm going with the pass rush here. You have to make Geno Smith uncomfortable. Don't let him stand there in the pocket and just dice you up. It's Geno Smith. Get after him. Force him to make a few turnovers. Your defense is going to be the reason why you can win this game. It has to be the pass rush. Aaron Glenn, they're going to have to drop something, whether they decide to lock out Lockett or Metcalf, one of the two. I don't care. You have to find a way to win this game. I don't know how you're going to do it. But I know the pass rush will be, in my opinion, the biggest X factor because you're changing field position, maybe forcing a strip sack fumble, maybe forcing an errant throw, it's an interception. The pass rush has to be there today, fellas.
I'm with you.
Hey, on the chat, Mike Lucci says it's not a must-win. They're not a playoff team. I'm saying it's a must-win, Mike, because it's for their psyche going forward. You want to become a winning team.
Right.
You can't lose games like this. Yes, you're down 50%, 60% manpower on offense. Your defense hasn't been great, but they're on the way up. Linebacker plays got to get better. Malcolm Rodriguez played better.
I have the same issue. I'm talking myself into the Lions winning this game, even though everything inside of me and my brain is telling me don't. Because I don't want to have to come here on a Monday. They're 1-3, staring down 1-4 on the road at Foxborough. Yes, it's not a playoff team. No, they're not a division winner.
Not yet.
But you started the season 0-8 last season. What's going to come off the bye week? Let's say you're 1-4 going into the bye. Dallas, 1-5. When do you start becoming concerned?
You don't want to be 1-4.
You don't want to be 1-4. You don't want to be 1-5. You don't want to be 2-7, 2-8. And it's very possible.
Be 3-2 at the break.
2-3 I'll take.
Well,
give me 2-3. Give me 2-3. Foxborough, it will be difficult because of Bill Belichick. But geez, I can't fault Lions fans for saying, hey, well, we didn't expect them to be in the playoffs, but you want to see improvement.
Of course you do.
And you want to buy in? You want people to buy into Dan Campbell? How do you do that, man?
I want the national TV people, the national analysts to keep talking about the Lions. That's what I want. And for them to do that, instead of saying same old Lions and forgetting about them again, is you got to win the games you're supposed to win. And show them that you can win without 60% of your best offensive weapons, and including your offensive line, which has not been together ever since you've drafted this team.
Right.
Win the game today. Someone step up. Justin Jackson. How about it?
Tom Kennedy.
That is it for us. Everybody, thank you for joining us on the Detroit Lions pregame show. Maz, it was a pleasure having you on.
Maz, you're the best.
You all have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the football. Lions kick off at 1 o'clock against the Seahawks. Should be a pivotal game early on in the season. We'll get to you guys tomorrow, but don't forget about the postgame show here live on the Woodward Sports Network. Stick Anson for the post game. They start their coverage at the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. Make sure you check them out later today as well.
At the Brass Rail.
We'll see you guys Monday morning.